Yes.
Ooh, my camera isn't quite aligned. The outside world is leaking in. In fact, I may need to move my screen a little bit. And
Oh boy.
ooh, a little to the left, a little to the right. That's no good either. You
We
can
can
tell.
see the
Yeah, you can see.
hellscape outside your window.
You can see the outside world. Okay. It's session time. I think this is our 5th session. At least that's what I put in the little episode counter on the title of the episode description. So if that's wrong, then everything's wrong. But I can always change it. We are still, however, on the 4th day, as we said a little bit before the session started there. Yeah, last session, Rudolph, he attempted to bypass talking to someone who doesn't like him, said matron who you met with. He sort of hoped that letting you loose in the district without mentioning her might lead serendipitously to a different outcome, but lo and behold, you ended up talking to her in her little church community center. Dafer got a little bit blindsided by the fact that the community there is very much like his community back home, and decided to trust them sort of somewhat implicitly. I think as well maybe Adhira was pretty game for that as well. I can't actually remember who the people that were mostly for it, but I think it was Adhira and Dafer. All seems to have worked out, though. You had a brief conversation with Axel. You found out that his Empress Knight title used to be the Beast, which he no longer uses. And the explanation that you managed to wrangle out of him was that he no longer fights in a manner that he believes befits that title. He is going to assist you in raiding the warehouse. And I believe we left off with you guys heading back to the academy to restock, refuel, whatever you need to do in order to get this job done. I believe the purpose of doing this was to capture any culprits, come across any evidence that you might find. Just a general raid. I think the word raid is the best word I can use for what you're trying to do to this warehouse. Is there anything that you want to swap out while you're at the academy? Anything that you want to get done?
Aver would like to swing by the hospital wing once again for the second time. Actually, this is the third time in a row. The first one was on introduction. The second time I got a healing shot. The third time, today, I'm still getting another healing shot.
Yeah, you go ahead and roll. I believe it is like the medic feat. I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head now. I think
1d6 plus 4 plus level.
That's it, 1d6 plus 4 plus level. So if anyone else needs to go to the nurse's office for the healing shot, as Dafer called it, you certainly can roll to do so.
Yeah, sure.
I imagine it's stim boosts or something, like needle rammed straight in the arm, injected.
Yeah, you were told that after you take it, you should eat basically double the amount because it basically messes with your metabolism, speeds up your metabolism, which then interacts with your shell to sort of heal you quickly.
In that case, I'm also visiting the cafeteria to see if I can snack some, like, more protein bars or something.
You grab some red bean buns on the way through because that's all that is left at the end of the day.
I regret my life, but I still happily munch on like 3 of those.
Anyone swapping out anything else as well?
Ed here is going to be one of the ones who runs into the crystal workshop, deposits carefully her previous crystals, and looks around for a few selections. She picks up one from evocation, and then once more she turns to necromancy and picks up 2 more after careful consideration. Okay.
2 more pulled from the necromancy section and 1 from evocation. Axel will also start perusing. You notice him grab a silence crystal and a pass without trace crystal.
Ah, nice.
Oh, okay. He wants.
I will put
not
my
going
pass
well.
without trace crystal back then.
Yeah, if
and
you
I
wanna...
will pick up chromatic orb just in case.
Okay, chromatic orb.
I'm going to take a funny.
Yeah.
Flaming Sphere is a spell that exists.
It sure
Ah.
does. Axel does nod approvingly at your spell choice.
Yeah, Connect Shot is the one I was replacing because I've used it.
While we are there, I
Others.
would also beeline towards my room and utter a sigh of relief as I finally get to put back on my stuff and like feel the runic metalwork like link up back with my shell.
Is it like a does like I don't know how like you put the gauntlets on, they have to like strap in as well, I imagine, right? There's got to be a bit of a process to putting them back on. Is it like, I guess my question is it done with like a reverence, or is it like an eager efficiency? I don't know how Dafer would like regard the putting on of his weapons once again.
I mean, it's kind of like putting on a very comfortable pair of shoes, or one you're very used to in a sense in both cases. Like you're putting them on, you're strapping them on in a way that feels comfortable, and then like you feel the runes starting to sink their fangs into your shell again to like get the necessary energy to get them going, and like that is, if that's a feeling that you've been used to for like a year or two now, that's something that symbolizes protection for you mentally, and not having that there was like a niggling.
Yeah, a sensation that might feel alien or otherwise claustrophobic, the encasing of yourself in this metal and the feeding of essentially a different kind of life. Like you've got an ecosystem of runes living off of your existence, Dafer, is more comforting to you than perhaps how other people might view you from afar if they're not used to such esoteric, although I guess it wouldn't be esoteric to you, it makes as much sense as anything else, energies about you. Is there anything else people want to do before they follow Axel back to the stacks towards the warehouse district?
Just getting my stuff.
Once you've gathered everything, and as Axel sort of leading you out of the front gates of the academy once again, he will turn to the group of you in a general sense and just say, is there any non-trade language that you all speak? Something a little bit perhaps more esoteric, less spoken by the general folk? Obviously, some of you have regional dialects, but I'm pretty sure not all of you speak Dulukop or otherwise Coptic.
I mean, that's where I am from. It's kind of like, it's literally what we speak.
Mm-hmm.
Binaric or primordial, if you want.
Binaric and primordial. Anyone else?
Looking at the sheet, Caliban speaks Trade, High Zemesian, and Brighton.
Okay.
I speak Old Zemesian.
Okay.
Like there's probably a non-zero amount of overlap.
So the two of you can communicate. I imagine, Uther, you also speak Coptic.
Yeah.
And I happen to speak a little primordial. Is that true? You speak as well, Atir?
I do not know.
Oh, what is it you speak?
Lamshi.
Not a language I know.
Plus you.
I think we
Point
should
to Flair.
split off into groups of 2. If we have Uther and Dafer, I want you two to try and enter through the roof of the warehouse. The side entrance I will leave to Clara and Caliban, since the 2 of you can communicate. And Adhira, you'll stick with me. We'll try and go through the front door. That way, we cover all the entrances and exits of the building.
She nods. DM, would you say that she's good at hand signals? Like, she'd be able to pick up on, like, basic hand signals and whatnot?
Yes, but as you are moving, Axel is going to use this as an impromptu lesson to begin teaching you some more advanced ones as a class. So, like, as you're moving through the city, he will start teaching you the hand signals that Empress Knights in general use if they want to communicate in a combat situation or just before a combat situation without speaking. He goes through, you know, the different wait, 1 person ahead, 2 person ahead, danger, all the different hand signals he can think of. It will take a while for you guys to get them down pat, but he's sort of begun the process of teaching you how to communicate silently with one another. But he will add, sometimes a concept is too difficult to get through on hand signals alone. For that, it is worth considering if there is a common language you can all pick up to speak together. Most of the beasts of the waste do have some limited intellect. They will be able to pick up on certain trade words if they've heard them enough. When it comes to fighting against more humanoid opponents, it obviously becomes situational. Try and figure out what you think you can get away with, but sometimes it's worth your opponent knowing what you're about to do if it means you can communicate something more vital to one another.
All right.
By the time you reach the warehouse district, it's getting on a little bit into the evening. The sun isn't set or sort of like it's not even on the horizon, but it's beginning to get that more dusty glow to it, which filters through the purple like barrier around the city as a sort of weird tint, and almost like it's purple with tinges of green throughout it, which is then sort of washed away eventually by the street lights being lit, and you sort of get the more orange glow back to the city if you're not looking at, you know, anything just hit on the higher reaches of buildings. As you get near to the warehouse in question, does anyone want to take a look at it in a sort of like general sense, or is there anything specific anyone wants to look for, or are you content to just like get a basic description of it?
Is it
Anyone
being patrolled?
Give me a perception check. It is not, Uther. It's boarded up windows. It's a very old looking warehouse. 2 stories. It's got a ground floor and then, you know, another floor above that. Flat roof. There's no tilt to it. It does look like there is a skylight, so like a thin strip of glass that is in a slight triangular shape that goes along the top, but it's been either painted over or dusted up. Uther, you can't quite tell from a distance, but it kind of reminds you of the windows in that one building you were in earlier. It's sort of been obscured or left uncleaned on purpose in a way that doesn't draw attention. So it's sort of like obscured, but in a more natural way. There is roof access as well. Looks like there's a door up there. There's also a big front door, like a double door, that most of the shipments would have gone in and out of. And then as you're looking at the warehouse, it only has one side alley, and there is a side door down the end. But judging by what you're seeing and what Axel told you earlier, he already knew what the layout of the building was going to be. But as you look around Uther, you notice that most of the warehouses in this area have the same basic configuration. 2-story, flat roof, skylight, roof access, side door, double door at the front. It's sort of identical, and they're in pairs, so that basically it's like 2 buildings side by side, and then either side of it is a side access alleyway that goes down. Anything else people will be looking at?
Are there any not quite as loud paths onto the roof that... I mean, I'm not particularly quiet. I'm not super loud or anything, but...
There is a fire escape staircase in the alleyway on the right-hand side. Goes up the 2 floors to the ceiling, to the rooftop itself.
So, fireway, ladder or stairway, sorry?
It's a stairway, like one of those back and forth ones, you know what I mean, with the level at the midsection between the 2 floors.
Okay.
I'm gonna put some area descriptions on some of these boxes so that we have house roof.
That's a lie, we don't have that yet.
Give me 1 second. Put this up there. There we go. So we begin assembling a bit of a map for you guys. And then I'm also going to add in the main floor, as that is what you would know exists for now. If you want to go ahead and position yourself on the map, you know, where you want to be, I guess the question is, in general, how do you want to get to that location as well? Uther, are you taking the stairway up, or do you want to try and jump up or otherwise climb up? How do you want to go about it?
Before we go anywhere, I would essentially ask Axel. So, what the plan is, try to sneak around as much as possible until we can see everybody in position, and then jump them, knock them out.
Axel will say to you, Dafer, we'll go when you go in. He hands you the silence crystal and then says, usually these warehouses have a set of gangways or catways at the top. I want you and Uther to either breach through the staircase door or jump in through the skylight. Use the silence crystal to mask your initial entry, but I want you to go for anyone who looks like they've got a gun or otherwise some way of harming us at range. For Caliban and Clara, your main objective is to make sure no one gets through the side door or otherwise escapes, but assist if you need to in any of the conflict going on. Adhira, you're with me. Do your best to cover for me, and I'll do my best to cover for you, but we'll be the ones taking the brunt of the risk in this situation. We'll be going in at the front of all of it. Dafer and Uther, once you've cleared the top, feel free to assist in any way you think necessary. Obviously, this is all just initial ideas, and if things go sideways, respond accordingly. Don't listen to my instructions if they don't make sense at the moment.
I'll
I think
see
I would
about jumping
try
into the
to
thick
go. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No. I was thinking something else. Go on.
I'll see about jumping into the thick of it when or if the opportunity arises, or the necessity, more like it. Okay. So you're expecting us to already encounter resistance on the rooftop itself, or just above?
Not on the rooftop, but there will be catways underneath. So on the second floor, there will be a sort of observation and access areas on the what you would call the second floor.
Okay. Then I guess we'll be off. We'll be having the longest route, I imagine.
Real quick. Hypothetically speaking, Ender, would thieves' tools be something that would be reasonably in my kit, or is that something I would have to acquire over the classes?
It depends. I think if you wanted something like a lockpick or something like that, you could have made one very easily, either on your own or asking any of the artificer students essentially to make you one. If you want like a full-on set of like thieves' gear with all these complicated things, that is something more of a project that you could do across a series of time.
Okay, I was just checking for the sake of tool proficiencies and breaking and entering.
If you had mentioned it, Adhira would lend you hers with the note, "I want these back."
If you want to borrow Adhira's, then you certainly can, as she in fact does have some from her life's experience.
How convenient. And yeah, I'll borrow that then, just in case we need to open something up here. And then, yeah, just trying to find a far enough way up that we don't alert the entire neighborhood we're coming upstairs.
Yeah. Okay. I think you guys have got enough time that if you want to sneak up the side there, you can without any real issue.
I mean, that would be Daver's first choice. Seeing that, like, trying to go silently up those staircases.
Okay. The two of you make your way up the staircase to the rooftop area. Is there anything anyone else wants to do as Dafer and Uther are getting themselves into position?
Nah, I'm good for now.
Okay, so Clara and Caliban, you're at the side door. Adhira, you're with Axel. You're waiting for the commotion that will be caused by Dafer and Uther to cause everyone to look up as you head in. Dafer, Uther, you have two real options in front of you. There is the skylight. It's hard to see through it, but you are told there is some sort of catwalk beneath the skylight. You could just go crashing through it. You do also have the silence crystal that Axel grabbed. Alternatively, there is the roof access door up there as well. So, like, it's a little, you know, like some buildings have on the top. It's almost like a closet doorway with literally just a structure built in order to have a doorway that then leads down a set of stairs. Yeah, you got it. Those are the two things in front of the two of you. You can even split up if you want. Obviously, only one of you is going to be able to cover one area with a silence spell, though. If you wanted Dafer to drop down and Uther to go through the stairwell, or however you want to do it, but up to you guys.
What do you think?
I'm not opposed to a dramatic skylight entrance. Kind of. We can do the sneaky way, of course, if you want to like try to lockpick the door, and once if you succeed, we can still split up. Like I take the attention on me, and you backstab them with your massive sword.
Let me see one if the lock is just unlocked real quick, and like worst case scenario we both drop in, best case scenario we split and
So Uther,
hit him from directions.
The top door is locked, so as you try it gently, it is locked. So obviously you've got the thieves' tools, you can try and unlock it if you want.
Okay. What would you call the attribute for this one?
It'd be dexterity based. This is a lock-picking check. 22. Uther, with a very easy and satisfying click, the doors do open. You find Atira's tools to be more than capable. Quite nice, in fact. Very comfortable in the grip.
Best investment she's made. I'm just gonna lean towards Drafer and just on your mark.
All right. Give me a second. Dafer would start signaling like a countdown, and or rather, he starts triggering the silence crystal, and then counts down to 3. And on the count of 3, he would jump through the skylight.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Uther, you're gonna, at that point as well, open the door and like go running down the stairwell, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have you all roll for initiative at this point. So go ahead and do so. At the same time, I'm going to begin moving some stuff from the GM layer onto the screen.
Look at all these starving Victorian children.
I think that should be everything on there. Now I need to roll for some initiative. Oof.
Circle tool. Go.
I should have set up the initiative macro, but no, I did not. So we're gonna have to roll these one by one. Ooh, I'm getting a lot of natural 20s. Don't mind that. Roll 20 is fighting me at the moment. Doesn't want to open up some of these sheets. Fine, we'll do it manually. There we go. Trying my best not to miss any of these.
And we're still going to have, oops, I forgot, like 5 minutes into the fight. A million more dice.
It is inevitable. There is one thing I'm missing from the map I realized that I didn't put on, and that should be down here. There we go. So, as you burst in through the skylight down the stairway, Dafer, you land onto the catways, so I'm just going to move you over into this box here. You see there are two individuals, big heavy trench coats, bandoliers of what appear to be older style single shot pistols, so like pistolier type weapons, and a youngish girl who is currently sat with her feet dangling off of the edge of the catwalk, kind of bored with her chin on one of the safety rails, eye patch as well. You can see that the catways, like these catwalks, sorry, they have a office in one corner where you can see an older gentleman with a prosthetic arm in conversation with a younger woman who's obviously now sort of looking up and around, seeing motion out the corner of his eye. Beneath you is the warehouse floor with a bunch of people listening to a guy who's got like a plague doctor mask around his neck having a conversation. All of this is sort of going on at once. You've got them surprised. What do you want to do in this moment, Dayfer?
I would like to immediately trigger overload.
Yeah, bonus action, overload, pulse of energy.
And you said she is very close to the railing, about to very much in a fall down risk.
Yeah, she could be made to fall down, as it were. She's sort of like sat, almost like she's at the edge of a pool with her feet dangling into the water, but instead they're like dangling off the edge.
In that case, for now, seeing as we are basically two people and we are about to be fairly meanly outnumbered, I'll mentally ask my crewmates down there for forgiveness, and then I just body check the girl, trying to get her off the floor.
Yeah.
To get it to fall down.
You have advantage on the athletics check. They will roll acrobatics against you. Wham! Slam into them, sends them like almost careening off into the crates down below, and does fall into the main warehouse area, knocked prone. Is, however, somewhat resilient to fall damage, doesn't seem to take any. She is prone and dazed and sort of startled by what happened, but at the same time, not exactly hurt by the event.
Okay. That should buy us some time. And for my bonus action was triggering the overload. So that was my a version of an attack action, I believe.
So Uther, you're sort of between these two situations. You're both like on the roof and in the catway area at the moment. Is there anything in particular you want to do in this situation, like whether you want to move in against someone in particular or anything else?
What was the damage dice on those guns we were given earlier?
I believe they're a D8.
What is the range on said gun?
8320, I believe.
Thank you. It's safe to say that Drafer is close to this guy, but not
Sort
as
of-
close to this guy. Yep.
Sort of between them, yeah, in a sense.
I might just try to shoot that guy from the stairwell before making my entrance.
Yeah, you have advantage on the shot there, surprised.
Oh, goody. Turn that one off. Click this. Something's been prepared to meet God. The most
This-
powerful spell of all.
Gun. Let's see if for roll 20 agrees. 23 hits.
A weird dice roll that is like half popped up and it's blocking my ability to click on the gun.
Oh, like the 3D rollable dice. That's interesting.
I can't click on it.
No, but you've moved it up enough to where I can click on it.
Ah.
Teamwork.
Teamwork!
I'm
Sneak.
going to take a screenshot of what I'm talking about.
Do you want to be lethal with your attack or not, Uther?
I assume we're supposed to bring most of these people in alive, so I'm not going to try to kill him.
Okay, you take a shot, sort of wing him. He is in fact out of the fight with your sneak attack on top. Anything else?
How far of a run up would this be?
You can get in there, yeah.
Well, I'm not yet. I'm getting ready to head that. I'm gonna wait here until next go around, basically.
Okay,
Is
so,
what I think.
but next turn you can get within range, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna wait until needed.
Okay. In which case we begin the initiative order in earnest. Axel's just gonna burst through the door onto the main warehouse floor, and immediately go after the nearest person to him. Big hexagonal staff swinging. 17 hits and 14 hits as well. Also being non-lethal with his strikes. Does manage to knock out the nearest two individuals to him. Adhira.
I dart in after him, sticking close to him as if his own moving shadow, and I toss my scythe at this man, the one who's not able to get.
Yep.
6 will miss.
6 will unfortunately miss as they dive behind a series of crates and your weapon slices through and then comes wheeling back towards you.
I am like 20 feet behind him, but like I move in and out super quickly.
No surprise, Dayfra, that was only the round with you and Uther. Okay, and then Adhira, you're ducking back out, yeah?
Correct.
Okay. This one individual is going to make a wisdom saving throw. Does manage to make the save, will act, runs up and will take a swing at Axel, just swinging a regular old pipe. 15 does not break AC. And this one as well, wisdom saving throw. This one fails and is just going to back up a little bit, confused and unsure what to do. Caliban, you can hear the chaos of fighting beyond the side door in front of you.
Oh, were we only supposed to, were we ordered to just like
Your,
stay here in case anybody tries to escape?
your
from the side
primary objective is to stop anyone escaping through the side door, but you were also told to do whatever you see fit in the moment to help with the fight.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, rage support through the door, maybe?
Yeah, you can pop the door and take shots.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were not given our weapons, we're still carrying our concealed weapons.
No,
right?
you've still got, you could have grabbed your weapons from the academy. You got anything you want, Caliban.
Okay. Switching to gun, bonus action, and then just taking a shot with Noblesse Oblige. Aiming for the legs, just trying not to be lethal.
Any target in particular on the floor?
I'm standing right where I am on this little square part right here. Who would be the closest person in that?
Probably this guy
Right.
here. Like you're almost literally in line with where the things are stood technically. So it's between like this person who ducked away from the scythe shot and this person here.
Oh yeah, I'll take. Okay, I'll shoot him then.
Okay. That does hit. This person, you do see the telltale sign of shell energy as your bullet hits, it reflects off of it, does diminish it. However, being shot with a firearm sort of spooks the individual. Who do you want to give a teamwork point to?
Clara.
Clara, you get 1 teamwork point from Caliban in this moment.
Oh god.
Anything else on your turn, Caliban?
That'll be all.
The individual you shot is going to wheel around and is going to charge at you, in particular Caliban, and will attack you. Does just have like an old style heavy mace-like weapon. Natural 20 and 8.
Let's see. That is.
I assume a natural 20 will hit. That's 8 points of damage that does go through. As it impacts your shell.
I'm gonna try to parry that.
Can you parry it? Because it's a natural 20. It doesn't matter what you reduce it by. It will still hit, right?
When another creature damages you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction and expend 1 superior to reduce the damage.
Oh, it's reduced the damage. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me just check what are my superiority dice is D8s right now.
Yes, and it should be plus your. Is it plus your strength modifier, or is it just a straight roll? I'm actually not sure.
I believe it's supposed to be. It can be either strength or dexterity. If
Okay.
I remember correctly.
Yeah. So D8 plus strength or dex, whichever's higher for you.
All right, that should be. Okay, yeah, it's dexterity modifier. Oh,
Go
my
for it.
goodness. 8 plus. Hopefully, it just negates all the damage.
6, so you do
You know
take
what?
2.
I'll take that.
Caliban, you notice this person doesn't appear to be wearing a shell as you know it. There's something embedded into their collarbone, running the length of the collarbone, like down towards the esophagus. It's a mixture of not just the more like ossified bone parts of a shell you've seen before, but there's like a flesh component as well. Almost looks like there's a living creature feeding on them at the collarbone area.
Oh, gross. Am I the only one seeing this, or is anybody nearby?
Clara would see it as well next, like nearby you, wherever she is, like a little bit to your side, would see that too.
And we know what shells are, right?
Oh yeah.
Do I know what this is? If it's like an animal-y looking thing?
It's like it's similar enough to a shell that you think it's something shell related. You just haven't seen something quite like this before, I guess is the way I would describe.
I'm gonna make a guess right now, so
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it's gonna be like I'll wait until it's like confirmed later. But I'm gonna think that this is like some sort of parasitic, miasmic monster type of deal.
Yeah, it's an interesting guess. But that is the end of that individual's turn. From inside the office, the mechanical arm on the older gentleman whirs up to life, smashes some of the glass, and then the arm opens up. Dayford, you see a series of runes light up. Can you give me an Arcana check? You recognize that the arm that is drawing energy from something, maybe a power supply within the arm itself. but it is charging up for a pretty potent magical emanation. You think something to do with controlling minds, like some sort of mind control spell is charging in the arm of this individual. Dafer.
Feeling very uncomfortable about this. Dafer. I mean, my own problems in terms of runes and their energy have been mostly lightning related. So, Dafer is going to take a wild guess that this might also be the case here. And unwilling to wait, like to fuck around and find out, he's going to try and rush up and then just jump feet first at this guy. Like very, very obviously. And the feet in this case will start crackling with lightning energy, as later can deal lightning damage.
Okay, so first of all, you will get an attack of opportunity from the one guy next to you who's got the pistolier. However, you move with like sudden decisiveness away from him he's not expecting, especially since there's not really anything that direction. You leap across the catwalk towards the warehouse, double foot through the door, legs crackling with lightning. Go ahead and make your attack.
That would be done recklessly because this must hit. I do not care for physical damage. So sooner or later, that is my main attack. That is with Overload, and the attack is lightning. That's a 14.
14 does hit, however, literally just. It connects, deals the 5 lightning, and as you expected, who do you want to give a teamwork point to? And you do watch as the energy overloads the spell charging and fizzles out the magical attack that was incoming.
I would give that teamwork point to... Can I give it to anyone or just to Uther or myself?
I think you give it to anyone. We'll just say anyone.
In that case, we'll just narrate that Clara feels somehow a lot more in tune with Caliban than she ever felt comfortable. Starting up with a second teamwork point.
It's a second teamwork point for Clara. Anything else on your turn, Dafer?
That was my action. I still have a bonus action as I have surprise attacked him. I will now try to deck him front to the face, as I have seen Sigrid do a decent amount of times.
Yeah, go for it.
Bonus action attack. So that's not my main attack. That is overloaded, and it is a normal gauntlet attack.
7 as mechanical hand meets gauntlet. The two of you impact each other in a punch and nullify the forces as your fists meet in the center. Most of the glasswork in the office breaks out as the windows kind of shatter from the ripple outwards of the two fists meeting.
I assume I just punched too slow, and so he managed to get his arm up in time.
Yeah, exactly. You just equal and opposite force.
Yeah, check. In that case, we're done here. That's my turn. Clara.
Yeah, over to Clara.
Okay. I'm a little bit worried that my new bestie apparently is about to eat the dirt. So.
Let's not say that.
Listen, I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I am worried about it.
You're hopeful about it.
I wouldn't go that far just yet. Yeah, I'm gonna try the big combo, and we'll see how everything goes. So I take my bonus action to steady aim.
Yep.
And we'll try our best with the advantage. I do get sneak attack. I'm gonna try and sharpshooter it because it's gotta happen at some point.
Yeah.
I can spend my teamwork point to allow Caliban to attack with me, right?
Absolutely, you can.
Cool. I'll spend the first one. 12.
A 12 is going to hit, actually. Yeah, no, it hits.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it does connect.
They're doing a lot of damage. Yes, 22.
So that's 7.
Oh, that's true. I did have advantage. It was actually the less bad one.
You just immediately assume.
That is more than enough, Clara, as, like, this person's distracted, and you line up the shot, and as, like, Caliban's deflecting it, it just impacts perfectly side of the head. Do you want to be lethal? Are you targeting the, like, creature more than anything, or, like, how do you want to go about that?
I think I'll try and, like, I want to be non-lethal because that's like kind of our MO. I want to avoid the creature if possible because I want to figure out what it is later.
Yeah, I guess, what do you want to do, like, get him in the arm or something instead then?
Yeah, like arm or the leg, maybe.
Yeah, just the force of the impact with the shell energy through the bullet does bring them down. Feel free to save the teamwork point, considering, I think you would have gotten one anyway, because I'd forgotten to remove the stagger marker. So you're, actually, technically, you used one, but you can pass it on to someone else. There we go.
Can I give Axel my teamwork point as, like, a temporary ally?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna give Axel my teamwork point.
Okay, Axel has 1 teamwork point.
And I'm gonna begrudgingly smile at Caliban. We did a thing.
Just gonna slide this off to the side so it's not clogging anything up. I'm gonna do the same with some of these other ones as well, like that.
Proud of you.
Happy there, Clara.
Yes, yeah, I'm good.
Uther.
Well, Trafer did nothing up after himself. So, zip in, and let's see if I can hit things today.
$19 does
Hey,
in
look at
fact
that.
hit.
Only a 5.
5 damage does go through. Does take them down to half. They are bloodied by your strike. But this guy, despite having, like, the other one gone down from the surprise, they do seem to be somewhat trained. They don't have a shell, Uther, but they are quite skilled, the individual in front of you.
Buddy?
Anything else from your turn, Uther?
Nah,
Happy there, okay.
we'll be alright.
It is this guy's turn. Does he... I think he's gonna back up, risking the attack of opportunity for a chance to take a clean shot.
Opportunity.
Are you taking the attack of opportunity, Uther, or...?
Yes.
12 just hits. Just.
Oh no. Roll 20, 5 you done this.
I'm gonna say you're coming through a little funny as well, but not too bad. I can still understand you.
Temple strike is the question.
Do you want me to roll the attack damage? Oh, 7 came through, which is enough. You do get the attack opportunity off and do stop them from taking a follow-up shot. That is them. Righting herself, the girl who was knocked off will take a standing jump and arrive behind you, Uther. But she will need to take a dash action to do so. She lands behind you very quietly onto the catwalk, but still you do notice her arrival, a little flit of motion behind you.
Well, that's unfortunate for me.
Dafer, the girl in front of you also has one of these collarbone creatures and is going to charge at you, attacking with advantage. 15 and 22.
Both of those hit.
That is 4 and another 3, so half to 2 and 1. You take 3 points of damage total as your overloaded shell does protect you.
Check.
The individual with the Plague Doctor mask is going to slip that onto their face. And is going to begin flinging very sharp objects at Axel, a series of 3 daggers. That is 7, 7, and 4 damage that does go through, impacting into the shell. Axel, not overly worried about it in a grand scale, unfortunately, for this individual who does find good mark with the attacks. This recruit is going to move forward. 16 does hit for 3 damage. Axel just sort of letting the attacks rain against their shell. Adhera, is there anywhere you'd like to be in particular in the battlefield?
I would like anywhere.
Anywhere.
I want to get up into the office.
Axel's going to use a teamwork point. Motions for you to jump into the air.
I do so.
Swings the big club around, catches you by the feet, and launches you up through the open window. You can make an attack against the Gloam thug, the woman on the right-hand side attacking Dayfer.
Alrighty. 8.
8 unfortunately doesn't hit, but you are up there all the same. And then Axel is going to attack these 2 individuals. 26 and 22 both hit. Both knocked out. Adhera, that makes it your turn.
Landing next to Dather, she is going to stand up, and with a deep breath, she is going to explode as she casts off the cloak of her shell and uses a bonus action to enter spirit form.
Is it targets of your choice, yeah?
Yes, so those 2 need to make DC 13 dex saves.
Okay, so first of all, the person immediately in front of you. Two fails.
Alright.
And then 16.
I believe that makes it. Let me just check to see whether it's half damage or not. I think it's no damage.
No damage, is it?
Yeah, it's no damage.
Okay.
But she's going to continue on with a strike from one of these long swords. Ooh, misses.
Natural 1, unfortunately.
And she's going to step 5 feet back, kind of.
And you've got, like, mobile or something, right? So you don't take an attack opportunity. Okay. As you explode into the general area, and the spiritual... Is it like a cloak connected to you with bits coming off of it, Adhera? What does it look like?
Yes, her shell is like this cloak that covers her, and when she enters this form, it is cast off to reveal these 4 ethereal, inhuman arms, each clutching a long and slender blade, much like a scimitar.
Okay. I think it's just the sheer space and volume that you take up in this office. As you swing one of these spectral blades, it sort of scrapes along the ceiling, giving them enough time to duck out of the way as it passes through everything.
That would be my turn.
This recruit is down and out. I think this one that failed the wisdom save, is going to try and bolt out and past you, Caliban. You have an attack of opportunity if you wish.
Sure thing. Wow.
Yeah, that'll hit. I assume you're being non-lethal?
Non-lethal, yes.
Knocked out as well. That's that. Brings it to you, Caliban.
Who's left?
There's one person down on the warehouse floor, one person in the catway, and then there's two up in the office.
This one. Who's this one?
One wearing a Plague Doctor mask, flinging knives at Axel.
Yeah. Shooting at them.
Okay, taking a shot.
Damn.
7 misses. They, quite nimble, like, see you out the corner of their eye taking the shot, and then they duck between a series of crates and other bits of cover between you and them. Taking the shot doesn't quite get penetration through the box in order to hit them.
Okay. That'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. This person is out. Seeing things are starting to go kind of poorly, they are going to bonus action Misty Step. They essentially just with their hand reach out, grab hold of nothing, and then pull, and then all of a sudden appear on the catwalks. As an action, they are going to reach down. They grab hold of this this individual had a bunch of this pistolier's form with the hand as an action, and you watch as rapidly all the blood drains from this individual's body and begins to absorb up into the prosthetic arm. So basically just exsanguinates the individual and drains the blood out of them. Dafer.
I am not waiting for whatever the fuck this is. I'm pretty sure this is, like, I'm not expecting Lightning to do anything this time, but on the off chance, and I do not particularly care about her, but I do care about Uther getting schlocked over there. So I'm going to rush to him.
She will use a modified form of an attack of opportunity to attempt to grapple you as you move away.
Should I... Is this, like...
Contested, so athletics or acrobatics, but that's a 9 from them.
Yeah, in that case. I mean, I still have advantage on those. So
yeah, 19, you do manage to break through.
And utterly ignoring her, while laser eye focus on this dude, I still, I reach him, and then instead of, feet first, I'll try to go for a leg sweep.
Okay.
Again with lightning charged feet. Solo, that's like boots, that's an 18.
18 connects. Who do you want to give a teamwork point to?
I'm giving this one to Uther.
Okay, Uther, you've got 1 teamwork point. Yeah, you
And
do strike, but as you correctly worked out before, this doesn't seem to be using the same system you were using before. Whatever this is, it's different. It doesn't overload what's going on in this prosthetic arm.
Yeah. However, it is I assume this is bloodroot stuff.
It does appear to be.
Yeah, but with his legs swept out, he has a moment of instability, and Dafer will use that to try to, swoop in. He's leaning towards one side, either back or forward, and he's going to try to follow that up with a punch into whatever direction he's leaning into. So that's an offhand attack with overload, normal gauntlets. That punch is a 12.
12 does not connect, unfortunately, as once again the follow-up punch they are just about managed to block. Seems to be more of a boxer than a kickboxer, so your style has a slight advantage against them.
Okay, that's my turn, Clara.
Yeah, Clara, over to you.
Okay. A simple one, I think. Just while I'm here, I'm gonna shuffle forward. Given that we are now best friends and still working together, I'm an emboldening bond, Caliban. But I don't really want to leave where we are currently.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna stay here.
Okay, just moving up and getting a stock of the situation with Caliban. Uther, you've got young girl to one side and old guy to the other. Both fairly creepy for different reasons, I would say.
Not the best situation. How far apart are both of these people?
The girl is right next to you, so she's 5 foot from you, and then the old guy is about 10 foot away as he arrived on top of the guy you did the attack of opportunity on. So there's 15 feet between them.
Okay. Yeah. First things first. Let me see something here. That's a bonus action. Okay. I'm going to trigger one of the abilities of my shell and give myself Shield of Faith.
Okay, so increasing your AC by 2.
Yep, because this looks like it's not going to be fun. And
That's a bonus action.
Interaction.
Yep. No, I don't like Mr. Bloodman here, so I'm going to just step over here and try to run him through real quick.
Allowing an attack of opportunity, yeah?
Yeah.
9 misses.
Ooh. The teamwork point is an advantage, yes?
The teamwork point is when you attack, you can have someone else attack with you at the moment. So if you attack him, you can also have Dafer attack at the same time.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Right.
7 unfortunately misses as they are on the back foot defending at present.
Alright.
However, he
do
will
the
have
thing.
to dodge you, hopefully, right into the waiting boot.
That does in fact hit for, I think that's a crit, right? So you get another roll of damage, yeah. 13 points of damage does go through. Anything else?
Was lightning once again. I don't know if that triggers another word for it.
So not until the end of his next turn, because he's still staggered, so it won't keep going.
Okay.
Uther, you manage to make him back up just enough so that Dafer gets a clean connection with a lightning kick to the side.
Alright, we'll take it.
Happy there?
Yep.
The girl is going to hop up onto the little rail, run alongside Uther. She jumps up onto your shoulder, sort of like dangling off of you to take a look at you. She's gonna ask you, what's up with the mask? And then she's going to try and stab you. 13 versus AC, Uther.
I imagine it just... He moves his head to the side, it bounces off the mask. He just, like, takes one hand off his sword. That's why.
She'll laugh, she'll giggle, and say, huh, interesting. It is this girl's turn. She's going to turn and run at you, Adhira. You notice, like, she doesn't seem to be all there. Like, the eyes are sort of hazy. She's looking at you, but she's not focused. But she's going to swing at you twice. Adhira, 10 and 15.
15 will hit.
You take 8 bludgeoning damage as there's a huge amount of force. In fact, so much force that you hear this girl's arm break from the impact. You hear the bone snap as she slams into you with that much strength.
Jeez.
This guy is going to slip like between several gaps in crates, is going to move through the warehouse floor, and is then going to fling knives first towards you, Caliban, because you took a shot at him. He's going to fire a knife back at you. 22.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
7 damage.
Can I parry that?
You certainly can.
1d8 plus 3.
Do you manage to block the full attack?
I
Next,
just blocked the full attack.
he's going to throw the knife so it bounces off the door frame and is going to attack Clara at disadvantage. Misses you, however, Clara, as it sort of goes wide down the corridor, like down the alleyway, just past you. And then the third...
Ricochet.
Yeah, he did try to ricochet it towards Clara's, like, slightly out of sight. And then the next one towards Axel. 19 does hit for 5 damage. This person is no longer in the fight. Axel is going to charge at this individual, engage them in a melee, and strike twice. 14 misses, but 28 does connect for 8 damage. The individual in the Plague Doctor Mask does manage to bend their body to absorb a good portion of it. They don't have a shell, but they're moving in a way to sort of deflect a good portion of Axel's strike. Does still hurt them, gonna leave a nasty mark as the hexagonal bruise is gonna be across the side of their body. Atira.
She is going to twist, spit out a thing of blood, and come back at this woman with her blades.
Go for it.
Attack. 13.
Hits. Acid is coming through as well, yeah?
Yes.
7. Strike hits, and a portion of skin sort of sizzles away with it as well. No reaction from the pain of that whatsoever, you notice.
I am... do I burn a key point now? I think I'm just going to do another regular unarmed strike against her.
Okay. Hits.
17. Let me turn off acid real quick. 3.
3 more damage. Not quite bloodied Atira, but close.
I am going to then go ahead and spin my spirit point and do one more strike.
Go for it.
As flurry blows.
Yeah. 17 connects. 4 more damage is enough to bloody them as you've slowed them down a bit, but they're coming at you with an alarming amount of ferocity, I would say, it here. A single-mindedness.
Interesting. That is my turn.
Caliban. Are you there, Roach?
Oh, hold on. Yeah.
Of course.
I'm
Caliban, your turn.
Getting impatient at this point, just start going after the guy.
Yeah, you're gonna run into the room, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get within range. They were moving towards you anyway, so.
Alright, mind if I move my character?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, right over here. I'm gonna take a stab.
Uh, 10 would miss, unfortunately, as they move in a way to line you and Axel up, trying to keep you from attacking him at the same time.
Action surge, gonna strike again.
Yeah. You very quickly duck around Axel, get within range. The strike hits, 18 connects. 5 damage does go through. They manage to pull their arm out of the way, so you just nick them with the end of your blade, drawing blood, but not landing any sort of fatal strike.
Alright, that'll be the end of my turn.
From the prosthetic arm of this older gentleman, you begin to watch the blood that was exsanguinated from the pistolier leak out through the metalwork, fill in different rune sections on the arm, and then casting it forward towards the warehouse floor, a bulge in reality forms as a spirit is called forth from a lower plane.
Hold on.
At which point a creature, spiny and sort of covered in green slime, emerges as a spirit of a devilish nature, pulls itself through into reality.
What? Hold on. Hold on.
Dafer.
Not too worried about that. I am a lot more worried about Adhira getting her shit pushed in. Therefore, Dafer will take a quick step back, enough to grant this gentleman an attack of opportunity if he so desires.
He will not take it. He will simply bow and allow you your exit, Dafer.
I'm not taking an entire exit because I am mostly just getting in a straight line towards this girl, pointing my hand roughly in her direction. Like doing my best to keep it steady, like supporting with another hand, and then just overcharge blast one of my signature shockwaves in her direction. I'm gonna do so, overloading things recklessly. So this is a reckless ranged attack.
Go for
at
it.
20 feet, I assume.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so that is main attack, that is with overload, and that is normal gauntlets. So that is a 20.
Does hit for 10 damage. They are stood, but barely, Dafer.
Okay. I'm gonna keep them there. They are at disadvantage against anyone but me, and whoever they attack gets resistance. And this is why I was only taking a temporary refuge, because I basically blast them. Then I go back to this guy here, and this time I'm not fit enough to do an overhead kick. I'm just trying to, instead of kicking with my right, I'm trying to kick with my left.
Yeah.
On a somewhat more unstable footing, as I'm not used to kick with that one. Still with lightning. That's a normal attack on a 19.
19 does connect and hit. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be a stagger as well, so you can hand out a teamwork point. I just forgot to take the dot off on his turn.
Okay, check. In that case, I'm giving another teamwork point to Hero. So that is the question. To Uther.
Uther, you have another teamwork point. Anything else on your turn, Dafer?
Perfect. That is my turn.
Clara.
Okay. I don't like the ghoul. But also I can't do much about the ghoul right now.
I realized I didn't roll initiative for it, but I probably should, so I'm going to. Give me 1 second. It rolled pretty well, but yeah, Clara, still your turn.
Do I happen to know anything about this devilish creature?
You can give me Arcana check.
Might as well. Because I want that thing gone as soon as possible. 19.
19. You've heard stories about spirits given form in this reality, usually weak to, generically weak to the light of the goddess, otherwise known as radiance. Unfortunately, they tend to they either need to be banished via arcane means or damaged to a point that their form will no longer hold together. Damaging the summoner might release it from the person's control, however.
I see.
But given its nature, it's a vile thing. It's probably going to try and kill everyone here, no matter who is in control of it.
Yeah, valid. Okay, I'm gonna try and solve one problem at a time. Because I see Knife Boy, and Knife Boy threw something at me, so I'm gonna throw something back at Knife Boy. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same setup. I'm fine with where I am. Anyway, steady aim. I'm not gonna sharpshooter this one just because I don't want to miss.
Mm-hmm.
So, just normal attack at advantage. 18.
18 does connect.
Lovely. And I get sneak attack because I have adjacent allies. So 16.
16 damage does bloody them, bringing them to pretty much exactly halfway through their reserve as you do wing them with another shot. Again, they're moving quite well, but this many attackers is beginning to slow them down.
Next time, don't try and spike me. I can't move because I steady aim, so I'm cool with that.
Okay. Uther, over to you.
Well, I just saw this guy, call a demon out of his arm, and I don't like that. So, I am also going to steady aim.
Yeah.
And just whole body into this swing. I'm also going to burn that teamwork point so Drafer can try to punch this guy.
Alright.
I want this fucker gone.
Yeah, two of you working in tandem, go for it.
He's hit.
It
Fuck me.
You were at advantage, you steady aim, so you've got
yes, I did.
one more roll. 9 would miss, however, for the other attack.
Sadly, my reckless only extends to my own stuff.
20 does connect.
There we go.
This time, I give you the setup. How do I set it up for you?
So that is 15 points of damage, as he backs away from the kick and into the strike of your weapon. He doesn't have a shell, so to speak, but his prosthetic arm is generating a sort of... it's kind of like a marquee field, but designed to deflect incoming attacks. So literally like an arcane force field, basically, that
Honestly,
is keeping you...
the arm is more my target than him.
Yeah, you're just like swinging at the
arm.
arm. Yeah, for sure. Just striking at the arm itself. He does need to give us a concentration saving throw. Does maintain concentration.
Wow. Okay. That's all I can do. Yellow was that point, I assume.
Sorry, what was the...
You had a yellow dot on me, and I assumed that was the teamwork.
I think you're concentrating on Shield of Faith, right?
Is that concentration?
I think Shield of Faith is concentration, yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. I can't... The C on my sheet is microscopic.
Yeah, no worries.
Sanctuary is not concentration. That's a different one, though.
Yeah, but Sanctuary implies that I have to not intend harm.
That is entirely correct.
The girl, like, still pretty much on your shoulder at this point. She's, like, stood on the railing, essentially, with one hand on your shoulder, and then, like, a knife in the other hand, leaning over to look at your face as she's trying to stab you. She'll say to you, Uther, you have the eyes of someone who wants to kill someone. Why aren't you happier? And then she's gonna swing again at your face with the blade.
Ah, shit. Uh-oh. It has not come through on my... Oh,
24?
Yep, that'll hit.
Can you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Yes, I probably can.
Follow that up right. Can follow that right back up with a concentration check.
Ooh, boy, look at that on.
First of all, you are poisoned at this point. As she nicks you with the blade across the side of your cheek, and you feel a heat run through your system. You have the poison condition.
You have hit my weak point.
Does stagger you, and she's going to hand a teamwork point to Caster. That is her turn. And yeah, you are under the poison condition. Bonus action disengage. He is going to move past Caliban and Axel. And is going to run straight for Clara. And is going to launch into a series of attacks against Clara.
How rude.
21, 9, and 21.
First and last.
That is 4 piercing. Another 6 is 10 points of damage, Clara, as they dash across the room and with knives in each hand, you manage to get 2 scrapes across your shell. Clearly not taking your ranged attacks well, as it were.
I mean, fair. Kind of deserved that one, not gonna lie.
With the single-minded nature of this individual, despite the fact they're at disadvantage, they're going to still come at you, Adhira.
Okay.
Disadvantage. 7 misses. 9 misses as well.
Misses.
As
Deflecting both with the arms.
Yeah, the slower motion with the strength and the broken arm sort of being detracted by Dayfur, you manage to easily get your deflecting blows in. Axel's going to yell at you, Caliban, to cover Clara, and then is going to swing round and is going to strike at this devilish creature, but not before. Bonus action. Bonus action.
What the fuck?
Activating something as all of the sort of darkness in the room disappears and it fills with light. However, Axel himself is sort of shrouded in the darkness he's stolen from the rest of the warehouse floor. So there's no shadows in there anymore. It's just Axel who's shrouded by that and is going to attack this creature.
Okay.
24 and 23 both connect for 21 points of damage. He does, however, take damage on every impact as the spikes eject from the creature and impact into him. Takes 11 points of damage in retaliation from the spines firing off of it. It is then this creature's turn. And the spined devil is going to first lash out with its tail, and then 2 claw swipes. The 22 will connect, everything else misses, and that 9 damage is halved to 4 coming in on Axel. Adhira.
Going to try and make an attack against this girl.
8 unfortunately misses.
Bonus action attack.
That
15.
connects.
Uh,
That is enough to bring them down. How do you want to knock them out? Or if you want to be lethal.
No, not non-lethal, but just being backed into this corner, desperately swinging these newfound arms, and then just this window of opportunity, just a straight punch from one of the arms, not a slash, just right into her nose.
It's just BAM! And then nose cracks, and that seems to be enough to, just overload the system to drop her unconscious.
And I'm going to run to the door and sort of press myself up against the side of the frame, kind of making sure I'm in cover.
Caliban, give me a perception check.
Alrighty. Let's see. Where's my... There it is. Shit.
You're not 100% sure, but the individual up on the catwalk that conjured this devilish creature, at the corner of your eye, you swear you recognize the outline of the figure. You can't quite get a good enough look at their face in this moment to identify who it is. But if you were to head up there, you'd be able to tell. However, Clara at present is being attacked by the Plague Doctor masked individual, so it's up to you what you want to do.
Damn it. God damn it, Clara. Going over here.
Okay.
This one right
Running
here.
out of the room.
Using another maneuver, I have like 2 more superiority dice left anyway. Gonna use fainting attack.
Yeah, making the attack.
Yep. Have to make an attack at advantage.
And if you hit, extra
And-
damage.
Yes.
21 does hit.
And let me just add the dice.
10 damage and the extra on top. Another 6 points on top. Slowly, like, managing to run as they are already turning. They're expecting you to come after them, Caliban. As you strike, they manage to, like, lessen the blow by putting their knife between, but you scratch up the side and make a big slash up their arm as well. As one of their arms now hangs limply, they still have one knife in, like, reverse grip. As they change the way they fight in order to cope with the fact you've just taken out an arm. Anything else,
Focus on
Caliban?
me. I'm the bigger threat.
Cool. It is our older gentleman's turn. Knowing that if he tries to cast any big spell, Dafer is going to be a problem. He's going to turn to Dafer and looks over the design of your gauntlets with an appraising eye.
Oh, that's not good.
And then...
He's gonna take you apart.
She knows the code.
he is going to bonus action activate the prototype stealth field on the arm, disappearing sort of chameleon from sight. And then he is going to move away somewhere else.
I don't think you get attack of opportunities against things you can't see.
Exactly, yeah. Attack of opportunity states it must be a target you see within range, leaving your range, basically.
Yeah.
Dafer.
Hey, having suddenly lost my target and seeing Uther getting green, and green does not go well with his clothing choice. Dafer decides to actually, like, she's on top of him, right?
Yeah, they're basically in the same space.
Uther may not like this, but with somewhat unsteady aim, still like directing his one arm basically at her chest area, and then just hypercharging that again recklessly, trying to blast her off him. Reckless attack.
Yeah, go for it.
Sooner or later, that's a sooner attack, aim, and overloaded, normal. That's a 10.
She sees you and, like, just drops down behind Uther as the attack pulses over the top of him.
However, that activated my trap card. Her feet have touched the ground, trying to use this like a football game when you I only know the German word grätschen, like go feet first for the feet.
Tackle?
Kind of
Yeah.
tackle.
Yeah,
Like,
kind of like a slide tackle.
slide tackle.
Yeah.
That was the word I was looking for. I'm gonna go for a slide tackle. That is still reckless, but it's no longer a main attack. Overload. And just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna make that lightning as well. So that's a natural 20.
Natural 20 obviously hits. Go ahead and roll the extra damage. Not overly worried about it being lightning. Obviously does convulse a little bit as the lightning pulses through. She's gonna hiss at you, "Stay out of this, goody two-shoes," as she looks at you.
She will, her eyes will focus on me a whole lot more than before, as she now can't attack anyone other than me. I am her front, mind, and center. I just replied, no.
You gotta roll the one eye she has. Anything else in your turn?
That is... Actually, yes, I will. I've only moved like 5-ish feet. She doesn't look too... Yeah, I'll stick around for now.
Clara.
My turn.
Got a target within 5 feet of you at present.
I have. Right. Well, I'm glad because I decided to keep the daggers that I was given as like hidden weapons, so I at least have a melee weapon, which is, you know, something that I wouldn't usually. Guess I'm just gonna try and stab him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else to do. 15. Thank God for Bond.
15 would hit, but for the first time, he's going to use his reaction to parry. Gets +2 AC against a melee attack. Does manage to block you. Just.
That's fine. That's fine. So I'm gonna spend my cunning action to disengage, and I'm just gonna run the other side of Callum.
Yeah, as you duck behind Caliban. Absolutely.
I tried. That's my turn.
Okay. Uther, it is your turn. You have disadvantage on attacks and checks, and at the end of your turn, you get to make another con save.
Oh, goody. I didn't feel the big guy run our direction, did I? Or is this a wide enough catwalk that he could get around?
You don't think he could get around you. He could go over you or find some other way of moving. You did watch him teleport, so there are other methods of him moving, but if he did physically move, then he didn't physically move your way.
Right. I am going to... I'm gonna... Adhera, don't let him get away. And then I'm going to refocus my attention on the bitch that poisoned me. Uther is just swaying on his feet. Whatever she has done is just not sitting well with him. And I am going to trigger Form of Dread. I am going to make this bitch afraid if I can possibly do so.
Yeah, go for it. So, is it a wisdom saving throw, or is it when you hit? When you hit a creature, then they make
when
a
I
wisdom
hit.
saving throw. Okay. So you get some temporary hit points.
And... Yep. For 10 HP. And... Big swings. Submit. Disadvantage.
You're seeing multiple, and as you strike, it sort of like goes through the after image of the poison created from what whatever she's done to you, and then she starts clapping and says, "That's it, that's it. Focus on killing me."
And Constitution save. Wait. Checks, not saves. Okay.
Yeah, so save is normal. Unfortunately, you are still poisoned at this point.
Lamau. That -1 is going to make this real fun.
She is going to take her dagger, dip it in something different, and then with like an annoyed hiss, she's gonna start attacking Dafer.
Advantage?
With advantage as well, yeah. 24.
Absolutely hits.
I need a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, can do.
You just about make the save, so you take 8 damage and another 10 poison. So 4 damage and 10 poison.
I do not get to resist the poison.
You do not get to resist the poison, but you made the save, so it's half damage from the poison.
Oh, okay. In that case, that's minus 10.
Okay. As she is like trying to keep Uther's attention, but at the same time is like annoyed at you, Dafer, and is trying to kill you in earnest. The dagger guy clicks his tongue, and through the mask you hear muffled Caliban an offer of why don't we call it quits? I go my way, you go yours. You can get the old man and I'll scarper off. How about that?
How about I fucking kill you?
Very well. And he's gonna stab at you with the daggers. 24, 21, and 21.
Those all hit, but let's see.
That's 6, 5, and another 7.
I'll deflect the last one.
Okay, using parry on the last.
1d8 plus 3.
Managed to deflect 6, so 1 damage from the last one.
So that is
12
in
damage total, yeah.
14. Yep, I'm down to 14 HP. But
Okay.
you know what? That's perfectly fine.
It is Axel's turn, and he is going to continue trying to deal with this demon that has been conjured forth into reality. 17 and 16, I believe, both hit. Yep. That is 9 and another 15 on top. And does get the counter-strike damage from the spines launching off of it. 15 points of damage. Does go through. It is then that creature's turn, and it will make its 3 attacks as the two of them just brawling, slamming each other through the various like shelves and bits and pieces down on the floor here. 7, 23, and 9. 23 goes through for 4 points of damage. Adhera, you are free. What do you want to do?
Adhere is going to walk out of the office and onto the catwalk. I assume I don't bump into anyone, or don't pass by anything that turns me partially invisible.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
20. As you're walking out of the office, you watch a slight visual distortion as you pass by something. You think that the individual is somewhere in the office itself. You can make an attack at disadvantage against them if you wish, but you have, as of yet, not seen their exact location.
I'm gonna wait on that. I'm first going to turn towards this one-eyed girl, do something I'm not really proud of. As one of the long arms produces a necromancy crystal, and I cast blindness on her.
Okay, what kind of save is that?
It is a Constitution save, DC 13.
Okay, give me 1 second. Constitution? Not the worst number in the world, but on average I fail this. I've got a +2, so I need to roll an 11 or higher.
Yeah.
She is staggered. Who do you want to hand a teamwork point to?
I'm gonna hand a teamwork point. Fuck, can I give it to Axel?
Yeah, you can give it to Axel.
I'm giving it to Axel.
Okay. Anything else on your turn, Tira?
No, I'm just gonna turn back and sort of watch the office keep guard,
Okay.
arms hovering menacingly.
Caliban.
Just staggered back, still alive. Gonna strike again. Is that the best you've got?
9 misses as deflects your attack and says, "You're a stubborn child, aren't you?"
I've been told it's my worst trait.
There's just like a slight head tilt from the guy in the mask. Anything else, Caliban? You've used your
Do I
action?
still have all my? Do I still have all my spells?
Yeah, you should.
Okay. I don't have any. I don't have any attacking spells, but I'll just make that note.
Okay. End your turn, Caliban?
That'll be all.
At the start of the old guy's turn, his field does fail as it is a prototype. And then... what does he want to do? He is going to essentially crank one section of the arm. It cocks back into a punch, and then stepping through the office door is going to strike Adhira with a punch from the mechanical arm. 7 misses and 11 misses as well. As he did
Would that
not...
have been a ranged attack, or...?
No, he stepped in close to you in order to make these strikes. But both strikes miss, and Dayfra, your turn.
I see those miss against my already wounded teammate, and I get really fucking angry at that. I basically rush. I bull rush this. There is no elegance in any shape coming towards this guy. I just basically rushing towards him, then standing on one leg, the second leg forward just tries to kick him in the chest.
Yeah. Snap kick, go for it.
That's a main attack, that's an overload, and that's a lightning boot. I'm trying to stomp very deeply in his gut. It's a 17 to hit.
17 connects for 9 lightning and does stagger him as bam, snap kick to the chest to sort of send him backwards, winded but still up. Not yet. Like, the shield is still holding as well, Dayfred. Like, this is a powerful piece of tech he's got on one arm. Well, is one arm.
I'm giving, staggered now, I'm giving a teamwork point to Clara.
Clara gets it, yep.
As she finds herself more and more familiar with Caliban's fighting tactics. And...
You're evil.
and
What are you planning? What are you trying to do?
Make us friends.
I'm sorry. No, it's fine. So that was my main my action. For my bonus action, I'm going to try and sucker punch him. Like trying to drive him further back with just raw brutality.
Yeah, go for it.
That is offhand attack, overload, and normal gauntlets. That's 11 that misses it. No, wait, I'm reckless. 15.
15? 15 would hit, but he's going to reuse a reaction to activate a protective rune, casting the shield spell. Does manage to block your follow-up strike with an arcane barrier.
And he has now once again focused on me.
Yes. Clara.
What are we allowed to use teamwork points for, and when do we get to use them?
So
I tried to look, but I can't find where we have the rules for
the
it.
basic one is when you make an attack, you allow an ally to attack with you at the same time. I don't think we've had any more advanced ones, but if you want to propose a advanced one between you and Caliban in this moment, you certainly can, if it, if you think it makes sense at this point.
Can I substitute when you make an attack for when you make a spell with an attack roll?
Yes. Yeah, I'll allow that.
Cool, because I now have some distance, and I picked up Chromatic Orb.
Yeah.
So, in the case that I would like this guy to just perish so we can get out of this fucking doorway, I'm going to spend a teamwork point to allow Caliban to attack with me, and I will attack with Chromatic Orb.
Yeah, what element Chromatic Orb do you want to shoot?
Let's go Thunder.
Okay.
18.
18 hits.
Nice.
Roll
20. You gonna roll the damage for me? Oh. 17.
17, they are stood, but barely, as you ricochet them off the wall with like a thunderous explosion, just kind of send them almost ragdolling, and Caliban has a follow-up.
Go get him, champ.
Oh, I can strike?
You can.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Natural
Oh!
20. Natural 20 certainly connects Caliban. I assume non-lethal still?
Still non-lethal, yes.
What do you want to do? Like, just punch him in the face with the guard, or like, what's the finish?
Oh, that's a good one. So you struck. So struck by the orb.
Yeah.
Sweep him off on his feet, like with the sword, and. Trying to think how to word this.
Mhm.
And Caliban just like jumps, stomps him both feet.
So like, so he gets like ragdolled, you then like sweep the leg so that he's up in the air, and then you jump and come down with him, 2 feet, solar plexus, unconscious, winded.
Yeah.
Cool. Down and out. Clara, that was your turn. You used your action to cast the spell. Anything else you'd like to do?
I guess I will move this way so I can like peer around, but otherwise I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, there's like a big bright warehouse floor that's sending an up glow towards the catwalks, where there's a fight going on between one poisoned guy and one blinded girl as they're swinging weapons at each other. And then down on the ground, you've got the shadowy figure of Axel like covered, and then beyond that, the spiky devil being that is battling against that. And you watch the shadows kind of absorb some of the strikes coming in against Axel.
Man, wouldn't it be fucked up if the one-eyed girl had blind fighting?
Why would you bring that upon us?
Yes, you are right. The older fellow would need to give you a Constitution saving throw. It does make 15. Uther, you are poisoned. Your target is blinded. Therefore, you are back to normal rolls.
Man, there is no point in me trying to aim my strikes either, so I'm just gonna swing.
Yeah, go for it. "21 hits.
I don't get sneak attack on this, I don't think.
No, I don't think there's anything that would trigger it. You don't have an ally next to her, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, well, she's blind, so is that advantage? But
because you've got
Did-
disadvantage, yeah.
You're sort of canceling each other out.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. I was trying to remember how the advantage disadvantage stacking affected sneak.
We've got a fight between two, like, identical rogue builds going up against each other. Both of you sort of, like... yeah. 6 damage does go through, as you do
Give
see...
me that wisdom save.
Oh, yeah, wisdom saving throw. Do you get extra necrotic damage as well from Form of Dread?
I don't think so.
For some reason, my brain was saying you do get that with that, but I'm not sure.
The last time I did it, I had
Hex.
activated.
9 does fail, so she is frightened of you. That's one.
Or that might actually just increase her interest in you, given she was already interested in you beforehand.
It's it's the race to see how many debuffs they can put on each
Yeah.
other.
Uther, anything else on your turn? You have scared, and you have blinded, and you have...
I'm going to lean in. It's not going to be clear if it's him just trying to not fall over, and all I'm going to say is, run.
Cool. You do get your
And I'm
con save as well.
going to, yeah, and now I'm going to try to pass this fucking con save.
12, I think, fails. Let me just double check, but I think it's a 14.
Yeah, a 13 failed it before, so...
Yeah. No, it's a 15. Sorry, yeah. Unfortunately, that does fail still. She will action disengage. She's going to step back 5 feet away from the sound which spooked her. But she is going to ask you, Uther, tell me, who do you want to kill? Who is it? Go on. You can tell me. I won't tell anyone. It is then Axel's turn.
She can make a DC 13 con save.
Oh, thank you. DC 13 con save, and that's against blind, yeah?
Yes, sir.
She is still blinded, and that means another teamwork point.
Wait, what?
Nice.
She's blind.
Who do you give it to?
I'm keeping this teamwork point for myself.
Yeah, you can give it to yourself. That's
Okay.
perfectly fine.
I'm about to use it anyways.
Yeah, cool. I think Axel's going to use the teamwork point to call in a shot from Clara against this creature.
Oh, nice.
And does make 2 strikes, both of which hit.
I don't think I have the advantage, sadly, but
No. And is that a 16 or a 13?
yes, it's 16.
16 hits. That does go through.
Yeah, as long as I stay within Caliban's,
Oh, yeah, of
like
course.
30 feet-ish, I get the bond effect, even if it's on something different. So 10 in total.
10 damage, okay. There's a lot of big numbers, unfortunately, missed off on the side there. It's painful
Yeah.
to look at. As you do manage to get a shot, green-purple mixed blood, kind of like, the blood of this creature looks a bit like petrol that's gotten into pond water. It's got that iridescent sheen, but with a more green-purple tinge to it. Oh, I forgot the retaliation damage. 7 damage back to Axel. And then it is this creature's turn. It is going to look around. It is going to spot some of the broken crates as little packages of what appears to be gunpowder kegs and other things have come spilling out into the place. And conjuring flames from their hands is going to target those on the ground. 14 misses, but 15 does hit. Ignites and explodes down there. Axel needs to give us a dexterity saving throw. The creature itself is immune to fire damage, so will not take any damage from the explosion itself. Fails.
Does this affect the structural integrity of the upper floor?
57 points of damage as Axel gets blown from one side and blasted out the front door, back into the street, and like kind of comes to a drop outside. You watch the light in the room flicker back to normal as the shadows leave Axel's form and return to their usual places throughout the lower floor of the warehouse. Atira.
I am going to... I can cast Searing Strike on one of my Spirit Blades, yeah?
Absolutely.
I'm going to do that for a bonus action, and then I am going to go in for attack and immediately spend the teamwork point to call on Dather to attack as well.
Attacking the older guy, yeah?
Yes.
Go for it.
Okay.
19 hits.
Let me double check.
That
So
is
that's 11 damage.
3 fire damage, yeah.
Okay. And that's a Constitution saving throw for control.
Yes.
Natural 20.
I'm also like 5, like...
Yeah, you're like a little bit back. Yeah. Can you give me an acrobatics
fair.
check as well?
Oh, yeah, there's a fire going on.
20. You do feel the catwalk you're stood on shift slightly, but the way that you're sort of balancing your weight, it hasn't collapsed underneath you, and there is like beginnings of a fire beneath you, Adhira, as you are sort of stood over some smoldering beginning to catch sections of the lower warehouse.
This is a bit more dangerous than I imagined.
Dafer, you were called in on an attack.
Yeah, I had missed
Oh,
one.
sorry, I didn't see the natural one. Atira, is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Caliban.
Alrighty, let's. So, Axel retreated.
No, Axel
No,
got
Axel got blasted out of the building.
Axel got blasted out of the building. An explosion went off and literally got blown out through the front doors of the warehouse and sort of careened down the street of it.
Is he still good?
You give me a perception check if you want to run that way and take a look.
I'll take a look.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a perception check. It is hard to make out his form, so there's light coming from the warehouse. It's getting darker out. He is still up on hands, like prone on the ground, and you're watching him like cough up what you assume to be blood onto the ground. But he's still moving, breathing, and looks like he's trying to get to his feet right now, Caliban.
Now, this may be a controversial decision, but I am very smart.
Mm-hmm.
So that thing right there,
Yeah,
taking a shot at it.
go for it. 10. The bullet goes through and just deflects off of the hide of the creature that like looks around in your direction.
Ah, shit. I'm a genius. Oh no.
Anything else, Caliban?
That'll be all.
Custer, looking around at the situation, once again is going to bonus action activate the rune that allows him to grab hold and pulls himself through reality. Will teleport over to beside the girl, puts one hand on her shoulder, and activates another set of runes that is now charging up a higher level spell.
He also needs to make a con save.
Constitution saving throw. What's this against?
Searing Smite. He's
Searing
on fire.
Smite. Perfect. Give me 1 second. 18.
He is no longer on fire.
Okay, manages to, as he tears himself through reality, the fire literally gets left behind, like an outline of him before it fizzles away. Dafer.
I hear something appear behind me, or drop down behind me. The thing is, Dafer is not very perceptive. He'd still be doing a bull rush with all the weight that is behind him, which might not be armor, but still, like, he's a beefy guy. I don't know what that does to his light work.
Give me an acrobatics check, please.
I'll try to outrun this.
If you knew what was coming, I would say so,
Yeah,
but in this case,
Not perceptive, it's fair. I'll accept this.
Dafer, as you step out, both you and Adhira drop. Can I get an acrobatics check from the two of you as you fall down to the lower level? Adhira, you land fine. Dafer, unfortunately, you come crashing down. The fire hasn't spread to the point this is awful. Dafer, you do take 2 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall. You are, however, now on the floor with this creature of spines, yeah.
Is there... There's no way. Is there any way back up that is somewhat obvious and that doesn't look like it's going to crash under my feet?
You'd have to cross across the warehouse floor and then up the other set of stairs on the other side, which is probably a full dash action to get all the way over.
We're not making that in time, I don't think. I am going to trying to do my best to distract the creature until Axel is back in the business. I'm going to move towards the set of stairs to get back up there again.
Yeah.
But next turn, if there's anything I can do by then. For now, I'll use my action to do a recklessly charged up attack against this fella.
Okay.
At range. So
Shockwave. Yep, go for it.
So Shockwave aimed roughly at the torso. That's a main attack, that's overloaded, and that's normal gauntlet attack. That's a 17.
17 hits.
That's 7 bludgeoning damage, and it is now very aware of my presence.
As the attention is drawn from Caliban back towards Dafer.
Essentially like a small fleeting rune appears on it, which hones its attention towards me.
Okay.
Not sure how runes interact with this being, or fleeting runes. Anyway, that is my turn, as I'm not using my bonus action.
Clara.
Okay. We need to kill this devilly thing, don't we?
I'd recommend shooting the guy up top.
I don't know if I can see him without
concentrating.
putting myself in death range.
I think it's
Like I would have to come through onto the floor, and I'm on a teetering 5 health.
yeah.
Like, unless, do I have a shot reasonably from where I currently am, or
you
where I
can-
could be?
You can give me a perception check. We'll see how well, through the fire and through all the debris, you can sort of make it out. Yeah,
Through the fire and the flames?
you've got the shot. I was trying to avoid it, but it was inevitable.
No, I wasn't.
you've got you've got line of sight to take a shot if you want.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll do a proper shot then. So, well, steady aim. How much has he been hit by everyone?
He is diminished, bloodied. Like he's taken quite a lot of hits, but his shield is powerful.
Okay,
Imagine
well,
he has as many HP as I do while raged.
hey, we'll try this without sharpshooter. I don't think I can afford it.
Okay. 20 connects.
The sad 120. I will spend a point of patience just to give myself the extra
Ooh, yeah.
sneak attack damage. So 17.
17 damage. Could not take another hit like that as the barrier begins to flicker, Clara.
There you go. I'm trying.
That you?
Yeah, that is.
Uther. Poisoned, you have 2 targets before you. You do see the energy charging up in the old man's gauntlets. However, the girl is between you and him, like on the actual walkway itself.
She also can't see you.
She can't see you.
I need to check something.
Of course.
I don't remember seeing this man make a dexterity save.
I don't believe he has made one in front of you, no.
I am going to end concentration on Shield of Faith.
Yep. Shield of Faith drops.
Let me double check before I get too deep into this commitment. Yep. Just gonna one hand just kind of up in the air a little bit, and I cast Flaming Sphere. Use my bonus action to just slam my hand down and slam the spear into this guy.
Okay, dexterity saving throw from him. 13.
Yeah. He will pass.
Gotcha. So does take damage. But half.
Yeah, he passes. Yeah, so it's 2d6 halved. Or 2d6.
Woof.
He takes 6?
He does take 6. That you, Uther?
I want to take a step. I want to take a step back, but not far enough back that I fell through whatever gaping hole dropped Drafer and them.
You're like, so that section dropped down and took like a little bit of where you are, so you're a little bit lower than them where you're stood, and you're sort of holding onto one of the railings as you step back a bit, but it seems sound where you are. It's not about to drop.
Yeah.
And you do get to make Constitution saving throw at the end of your turn.
Yep. 1 second. I'm just double checking. Okay. The sphere also makes a 20-foot radius of dim light and dim light for another 20. So if we need more light on this situation, we have it. Which I don't think we needed. Hey!
You make the save. You are no longer poisoned.
Woohoo!
It is her turn. Is she no longer afraid? Does it only last a turn, or was there some sort of save I should have rolled before for the form of dread?
End of my next turn.
Okay, so it is at the end of your turn gone. So no longer afraid, but still blinded.
Mm-hmm. And she could probably feel the heat off of the burning of the flaming sphere.
And if she ends her turn like near it, she takes some damage, right? It's like a d6 or something.
1 second, let me.
2d6 if she's near it.
They have to be within 5 feet of the sphere.
Right. Okay. But and it's above the old guy right now, just kind of hovering above him, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's his. It is his problem specifically. She's going to turn her head to one side and listen. I think, Uther, she's just going to throw a pair of daggers straight down the line towards where you're stood. Yeah, that's unfortunate for me.
First dagger. 22. 14.
The 14 will miss. The 22 will hit.
I do need a Constitution saving throw from you, Uther.
Here we go.
You make the save, so you take 7 and another 8 poison damage on top. Sorry, 9 poison damage on top.
Oh no. 9. Oh. 7. And you said -9?
I think it's another 9 poison on top, yeah.
Okay, I am still up, but barely.
Okay, just barely stood with your temporary HP, managing to absorb some of the blow as, yeah, the dagger just manages to breach through your shell, scratch across the surface of you, and you feel your body, unlike before where it was like a burning sensation and everything sort of got hazy, this, your muscles seize up, you feel the sweat pour down your brow. More than the heat of the room vanishes, there's like the heat from inside you seems hotter than everything else that's going on, despite the fact, you know, the warehouse is aflame, essentially. That is her.
DC save?
Yes, thank you. Constitution saving throw, yeah?
Yes, sir.
She's going to break free, and now we're just going to have the scenario reset again.
11.
It's another teamwork point.
Another teamwork point. Who do you want to give it to?
Could I... I was of one mind to give it to hold on to it and have someone help me with my attack. Could I use it on Uther to have him get off the catwalk? Or does it have to be spent on my turn?
I think it needs to be spent on your turn, yeah. So it's who do you want to give the point to is the question at this point.
I'll hold it to myself and I'll use it on my turn.
Okay. It is Axel's turn. He stands up to his full height. He's going to drop the staff, and he's going to walk back in. He throws himself at this creature, and then... You watch as he pushes through the spines with his bare hands, pushes them out of the way, and then sinks his teeth into the throat of this creature. Takes 11 damage. And the most disturbing comments give me psychic damage from chat. Does take 10 damage in response. Yeah, you just watch as Axel sinks his teeth and, like, rips the throat out. There's a splash of this petroleum blood across him, and the devil will turn and strike back against him at disadvantage as Dafer is trying to pull its attention. Miss, and miss as well, as all three attacks are dodged. Axel moving very quickly from one side to the other, managing to get out of the way of these attacks. Atira.
I am going to move closer underneath the catwalk, and I am going to try and throw my scythe to strike at a support near the end that these two are at. And I would like to spend a teamwork point to have Clara come in and assist.
So you're trying to shoot the supports out from underneath them?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll, and Clara, you can give me an attack roll as well.
Okay.
No.
9 misses. However, 19 will connect. Go ahead and roll for damage, Clara.
I don't have... It's just the 5. I
It's
don't
just
have anything.
the 5. I'm going to roll a d20. Anything lower, so 1 to 5, the catwalk drops. Anything above, it stays intact. Unfortunately, the shot isn't enough, Adhira, as the scythe and the bullet make contact, but it just manages to hold enough. It sinks a little bit, and they have to grab hold to keep steady, but it doesn't drop completely.
That is my turn.
Okay. Caliban.
Let's see. What's the situation with our enemies so far?
You've got Axel biting the spiny devil on the lower floor, and then you've got the blinded girl and the old guy up on top. The old guy is charging up a high-level spell.
I'm shooting the old guy. I'm
Yeah.
going over here. That doesn't sound safe.
19 connects. 6 damage isn't quite enough to finish him off, as he does have 6 health remaining.
Good.
Concentration would be for the devil, but I will roll it. It does make the save. Anything else, Caliban?
That's all I got.
Do you have any teamwork points?
I don't think Caliban does, but if...
No.
No. Unfortunately, Caliban, your strike goes through. You watch the arcane barrier break. The gunshot goes across. However, in this moment, you can give me a perception check to see if you recognize this person.
Alright, let's see.
Lit.
Make a good one.
Lit up.
Fuck.
You do have advantage because of the flaming sphere, I will say that. So on a 14, give me 1 second. I'll roll against you as this individual to try and hide their face from you.
It's your grandfather.
Oh no.
Fails. You don't know the name of this individual, Caliban, but there is a spark of recognition as you look at them. You recognize, like, the general clothing and face. The mechanical arm is different, but this is the major domo, the, like, main butler of a noble family by the name of the... Well, let me just type it out.
Nope. Okay, hold on. I'm grabbing my notebook. I'm writing this down.
It's the Fjordis family. And can you give me a history check with advantage?
Fjordis family major domo. All right, history.
Yeah.
At advantage.
Yes. 17. Your family, you're like, so your family's noble lineage comes from the fact that they look after and maintain the weapons of the Archangel Zemes. So your parents still have one of the 2 twin blades of the Archangel Zemes. Your uncle had the other one, but no longer has it. So you've got, like, one of the pair of these blades within your family. And most noble families have some sort of noble charge that they have. So your family looks after this one weapon. The Fjordis family looks after an artifact by the name of the Cerulean Heart, which is a azure orb that essentially has some control over water or over the ocean or something like that. It has some, like, water-based power, you believe. That's what you know about the Fjordis family. You also know that your family and the Fjordis family are actually quite close, and you have been to their house quite a few times. That is why you recognize this man. Despite not knowing his name, you know instinctively that's the major domo of the Fjordis family. In this moment, as you recognize him, the spell finishes charging. He points it down at the ground as a doorway of arcane energy opens up beneath his feet and the girl's feet, and then he stomps down, breaking the catwalk, and the 2 of them drop through the portal, disappearing. And Uther, can you give me an acrobatics check as you plummet?
Ah, that son of a bitch.
Just gonna yell Fjordis as he's dropping.
Looks over at you, like the 2 eyes meet as he drops through the portal, and then gone. Uther, you manage to land fine, sort of like basing yourself as you drop. You don't hurt yourself as you drop down onto the lower floor. Dafer, it's your turn. 1 target remains. Also, the warehouse floor is sort of on fire.
So, this is rough. Does it look like it's currently hot enough that my teammates are starting to singe?
No, but this fire will spread quickly. There's a lot of broken crate material around. It's gonna get out of control fast if it's not handled.
The thing is, I have nothing that can deal with fire.
Nope, that's
at
fine.
all. And I can't engrave a frost rune quickly enough to make this feelable. I don't... Unless... Wait, would you say I can slapdash runecraft something, a rune into one of the metallic surfaces that could reduce the flame, like reduce flammability or something?
So you want to carve a rune into the shelving around you to sort of dampen the heat in the area where you're stood?
Reduce flammability so that nothing more can start burning.
Yeah, you can give me an Arcana check to see if you can do that in this moment under pressure.
Okay, yeah. What's the Arcana check specifically for? To see if I recall the knowledge or if I can manage it in general?
To see whether you can manage it, like,
okay.
You can do this, it's just whether you can do it in 6 seconds in the middle of a fight, yeah?
Okay. 18.
You manage to do so as one corner of the warehouse, the flames lick at sections of wood and other things that would normally burn. The arcane dampening of the rune manages to absorb a lot of that heat. It doesn't catch.
Okay, like I'm feeding this with some of my shell energy for now. That was my action, or is this also my bonus action? Do we say this is my turn?
That would be your action, so you've still got your bonus action and your movement.
Okay. I think I'm fine with using my bonus action to offhand plonk against this dude.
I wouldn't normally allow it
just-
because you have to usually make an attack action, but in this case I'm fine with you just launching a bonus action attack. Go ahead.
Okay. In that case, that's an offhand attack. I am overloaded, and this is a normal gauntlet strike. Again, just rough. Like there's no way I can distinguish between Axel and this guy, so I'm just roughly aiming at the devil, just see if I can distract it somewhat. That's a 10.
Yeah, 10 just whizzes, like, I think it more like washes, the force dissipates across the breaking arcane energy of the spirit, just doesn't quite get to it. Nudges it, but it barely looks at you, it's just focused on Axel.
Yeah, and my rune like tries to catch, but it gets buffered away by the arcane shields of this thing. Okay.
That you, David?
That's my turn.
Clara.
Well, the world is ending, but there is still a devil here.
Yes.
So, I should probably do my job and try and kill it. Yeah, I'm still not entirely under too much threat, so I'll take the big shot with sharpshooter, and we'll just hope and pray.
Unfortunately,
12, I think, is the
15,
higher one of
no,
those.
12 misses overall. Just deflect off the
Sad.
surface of its body.
I'm gonna, like, make my way out of this door and start walking around, because I don't want to be inside this place if it starts to collapse.
Yeah. Uther.
Well, shit. Guess I'm going to make my way over here and try to help.
If you do hit it, you will take 1d10 retaliation damage. It does have a spiny body. You have seen that happen to Axel.
If I hit it with melee or if I hit it period?
If you hit it with melee.
Good thing Teach gave me this gun.
As you pull a gun out. Blam. 21 hits. Sneak
attack on.
How do you want to finish this thing, Uther?
I've been poisoned, stabbed, beat up, and then dropped from the second story. I land, whip around, see this thing, and just you barely see the hand move. He just goes so fast, and just all you hear is the bang, and it's just right between the eyes.
As you shoot it, the blood splatter of petroleum across the surface of the ground. All of the blood and other things that it left behind in the area begins to wisp and fold, and you watch it twist into a geometric shape that you don't have the words for, Uther, and then fold in on itself and then disappear as there is no trace of the creature remaining. Axel pulls out the crystal that you've seen him use to light his cigarette before, and instead swings it over a couple of areas of fire, and you watch the fire zip back into the crystal as he walks around and manages to trim most of the flames in the area away. It'll take him a while, but he'll manage to get around everything. But that is the end of the combat. As he walks around, you see deep breaths, and you watch as he seems to calm down a little, says to each of you, "Good work. That got messy quickly, but we managed to... Everyone's still up. Yeah, everyone's still okay."
I look at the entire rest of the party. Like, besides Atira, they all look very fucked. So, I'm just... I guess some of us came out of this less scarred than others.
You all did your
All
jobs well.
okay? 2 of them escaped, I fear.
There's a girl upstairs.
Go get her. Gather together everyone who you managed to subdue. And take a look around for anything of interest, especially the office. See if you can gather anything. I'll sift through the wreckage down here. He lifts up one of the big knocked over gangways and just pushes it off to one side, kind of tosses it into a pile away from everything else.
Looks at the broken catwalk leading to the office.
Can I use my arms to climb up?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fine. Just give me a boost. It's just like climbing a tree.
Sam.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to take just a quick check up of my own party to see if they're looking rough. I just want to make sure if they're if they're totally fine, or if, for example, Uther looks like he has leftover poison or anything. I'm worried about them. This is more that than anything else.
You can give me a medicine check as everyone's going about their stuff. Does someone want to give Clara a boost as well? I guess Adhira is also climbing at the same time.
I can. I'm pretty much the best to do that one.
Okay, Dayford, you essentially throw Clara up to the second floor to some degree.
Thank you.
Looking around Dayford, it's hard for you to say. Everyone has actually taken real wounds. All of their shells have been breached at some point and either cut or otherwise, injured in some way. Which isn't normal. So most of the fights you've been in so far, you've only ever seen them with their shell depleted or something like that. This is a different kind of fight.
I missed the start of that sentence because my internet dropped.
It's hard for you to tell, Dayford, because this is the first time you've seen your party actually injured. So I think no matter what, you'd be worried for all of them, including yourself. In fact, this is the first time you've seen Axel really hurt, right? He's singed down one side, some burns and otherwise, right?
God. Okay, in that case, I'm looking all over them, but I trust Axel more to be able to look after himself. If he seems after the third glance to still be all right as well, I'm fine with that.
I think on the third glance, you watch him light a cigarette off the last embers of the warehouse and then put it out and start smoking as he looks around the wreckage for something to investigate, as he seems to be mostly okay, but horribly burned, but mostly okay.
What the hell, Axel? Just what the hell?
Just lighting a cigarette with a carcinogen fire and then just smoking it.
Exactly so.
In that case, I'd be helping whoever, Caliban and whoever else remains down here. Currently reloading the page. Uther, with handling the knocked out folks, making sure that none of them spontaneously wake up.
Yeah, okay. So you and Uther start grabbing people and dragging them into positions down on the warehouse floor. Adhira, Clara, just either both of you can give me investigation checks, or one of you can give it advantage. I don't mind.
One each, I guess.
Yeah, go
okay,
for it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Good
Clara,
discussion.
one Adhira. 8 and 3. Looking around, you can see there's a lot of paperwork in here. I don't imagine either of you have a lot of experience with these sort of manifestos and logs of stuff coming in and out. So you've got ledgers and things like that you're looking at, Clara and Adhira. Not a lot of it means much to you, but you can obviously grab it if you want to. You don't find anything super obviously incriminating. You don't open a drawer and find one of these weird shell things, but there is the girl up here that does still have one of those shells adhered to their collarbone if you wanted to grab her as well.
I'm gonna put the ledgers and stuff in a bag or a folder, and just hey, Dayford, there's some trading stuff up here.
Sure. Just give me a second. Like two dudes one over his left, the other over his right, carrying them into the house. I'll be up in a second.
No, it's okay. I'll just She like drops the folder off the catwalk. It's easier. Don't bother climbing up.
As it hits the ground with a heavy smack, but mostly intact.
This girl is a person, and persons usually have wallets. Can I find one on her? And if so, what does her ID say?
Give me an investigation check with advantage.
Oh yeah.
So, first of all, you find the ID card. You obviously can't read it, so to speak, because it requires like an actual reader to scan it against, but you have the sum total of Empress City's knowledge of this individual on a card form, basically, in your hand. She also does seem to have a gold card, so a card that has money on it, which you can check the value of. You just kind of hold it up to light. There is 20 gold pieces on this card. As well as that, she does have a like a handkerchief or a pocket square with a little embroidered initials on it, which is LF.
Ooh, this girl is fancy. Maybe from a good family. What are you doing getting involved with the wrong crowd?
Clara turns round. No offense, but I'm from a good family, and I am also currently involved with the wrong crowd.
Not sure about that. We are involved in taking out the wrong crowd. This girl tried to, hurt me. Though, there was something off with how she moved. Like she wasn't herself, she wasn't thinking. It's like those old movies with the zombies.
Well, your friend drained all the blood from her body. It's not unrealistic to expect he might have talents.
She even has one of these weird things in the side of her neck.
Tilts the head to one side as it lolls over. You see it's still pulsating, still seems to be taking from her.
My arms are active for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
As creepy as they are, can I use them to sort of like try and pry this thing off delicately? Maybe at Clara's help?
If you want to, yeah, you can. Prying delicately sounds like sleight of hand to me. You're trying to convince it to leave at like trying to find an angle where it unadheres, basically.
Slide my little claw tips into its mouth and just sort of... It's like taking a toy from a dog, but you know it should have it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to.
This is more like ripping a tick off.
Thankfully, I've never had to do that, but sleight of hand, 19.
Honestly, I just light them on fire.
You managed to find a purchase point with the claws and everything, trying to get underneath it, trying to pry it away without hurting her. I would say in this moment you realize it isn't buried, like it doesn't have a mouth that's adhered to one point. It is adhered along the entire length. If you take it off, you're taking skin with it, and it is in a fairly compromising position in terms of like being near the neck. You can remove it, but it could hurt her adhere.
We should wait for one of the others to get up here. Someone with medical expertise. This is in a nasty spot.
Oh, yeah, now that I'm looking at it, like, and I'm not fighting actively, is it any clearer what this thing is?
Yeah, do you want to give me an animal handling check?
Yes, please. Oh, come on, Clara.
You can't quite make out exactly what the creature is, but the idea of it being a leech or a tick does sort of stick with you, Clara. It does seem like an animal and a shell hybridized to some degree, but you're not sure exactly what animal it is. It almost feels purpose designed, or almost like maybe this creature doesn't exist in the wild. You know, like the difference between a mouse and a lab mouse being like almost entire different genuses at this point. So yeah, unfortunately, nothing specific.
Yeah, unless Axel turns out to be a secret medic. I think we... Actually, I say that I don't know how easy it's going to be to get all of these bodies back somewhere, and I have a feeling this might be a bit time sensitive.
So the two of you are searching up there. Uther and Dafer, you dragged the bodies across. Caliban, Axel's searching around the lower floor. Do you want to assist him in that?
Yeah, sure thing.
Do you want to give me an investigation check, and he'll give one as well?
Sure thing. Fucking hell.
Okay, so Caliban. You find a few intact crates, Caliban. Opening them up, they are filled with last generation model rifles and pistols. Give me a history check.
Sure thing. Ah, yeah.
10. The only thing you would say is you recognize these are guns used, produced by Empress City, and then given, supplied to, is probably a better way, supplied to the Trismere noble houses during a rebellion war when the people rose up against the Trismere houses. So these were guns supplied to the nobles of Trismere in order to suppress civilian uprisings. On a 10, you do know that at the end of that war, a ton of surplus guns from that war kind of made it into the black market, made it into being sold to the public without, you know, Empress Cities, against their will, so to speak. But it isn't uncommon for people to have these weapons in their homes, especially for self-defense. A lot of people keep like the pistols and stuff in their homes. Give me another investigation check as you're looking at it, Caliban.
Already.
11. These guns look brand new, unfired, unused, pristine, which strikes you as odd.
So, these were not like kept in storage. These had to have been brought at some point.
Yeah, so, how do I put it? They were probably transported to noble houses, Caliban, but you don't think they saw action. So these would have been never actually used on the front lines, which makes it...
And you said these are pristine.
Yeah, they're pristine. No one's ever fired this gun, Caliban, as you're looking at it.
I thought you said they were just like freshly made.
No, not freshly made,
no.
but as if freshly made. Like they unused. They look brand new, unblemished, basically.
They were produced and put in storage and never saw field use.
Exactly.
So I'm thinking these were still going to be used for like possible black market use.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's something more nefarious going on.
Yeah, this isn't the normal kind of weapon that would be on the black market. That would usually be like weapons that were pilfered off of the battlefield and then smuggled back into the city somehow. It isn't often that guns are sold in this good a condition from this period of time.
And how do they compare to weapons today?
They're a little bit less reliable, but in terms of actual punch, they can be a little stronger at times. More modern firearms within Empress City, they're designed with like magazines and to fire multiple times. Many of these weapons were designed to either fire once and do so only ever once in their lifetime. The rifles were designed to be reused, but the pistols really were designed to just be shot a single time. Empress City wanted to give weapons to Trismere Ellesmere, but not for them to have a supply of reliable weapons that could be used for anything other than this one specific purpose. Most of these guns were designed to be not the best in a general sense already, but they definitely pack a punch, Caliban.
I'm thinking maybe these are going to be used to arm people. Like, they can't just be here like, on their own.
Uther, Dafer, as you've been stacking up these individuals, is there anything you want to do as you're looking? Like, you've got like quite a collection of people, right? You've got the guy who had the Plague Doctor mask on, the more general individuals who look like they might have been from the stacks, and then you've got there's one exsanguinated body, but there's the other Pistolier who's unconscious, who was a bit better trained. And then there was the guy that charged Caliban and Clara as well, who has the leech creature on it down here as well, where you are on the warehouse floor. Is there
what?
Is there anything
I don't
particular
have
you would look at?
medicine.
Yeah.
Looking at
What was you wanting to do?
go on.
Uther, yeah, go for it.
Oh, I was just going to take their weapons and check their pockets.
The Pistolier guy?
I mean, just overall in general, but I mean, yeah, I can start with the Pistolier, I guess.
Okay, give me an investigation check, Uther.
Really? With a 4?
The Pistolier guy has a stub for the underground on him, so you know that he came from the Stone Rose district this morning. So he made the trip here this morning, and would have arrived on one of the early trains before coming here. Uther, I don't think the Stone Rose district means much to you, unfortunately, as an outsider, but that is a stub that you find on him. The Pistolier guy is using weapons that match the ones that Caliban found in the crate, and they also seem to be fairly brand new, like especially because the Pistolier, like the pistols were basically designed to be fired once. But he's got he's got custom-made bandoliers for these things, like not designed to be used in the war bandoliers, but like newly made as if fit for purpose for equipping these weapons.
Be able to cycle through them quicker. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, to reach in and pull and shoot and reach in and pull and shoot over and over again. Dafer, what did you want to do as Uther is going through these pockets?
I am looking mostly at the dude who has one of these leeches attached to him.
Mm-hmm.
If I touch it, what does anything happen?
Not really. It doesn't like squirm or move away. It's living, but in the same sense, like the shell you have equipped is living, kind of. This does seem to be pulsating, and there's more organic parts left of it than like the shells you use do. But it is clearly some sort of offshoot of a shell.
I assume I'll be finding out similarly to Adhira that I can't just move this.
Yeah, as you try and like move it, it is in like a precarious position, and attempting to remove it could hurt the individual.
Okay. I am capable of focusing my shell in areas. Is it possible that I touch this thing and I try to push shell energy into the area where it's at?
Yeah, give me... What are you using as your casting stat statistic? Int?
Int.
Give me an int check.
Okay, that's... There's my sheet. Open up quicker. Q. Intelligence. There.
Dafer, you try and push enough energy to, like... Are you attempting to, like, overload it or otherwise, like... overwhelm it basically with energy?
Not necessarily. I'm trying to guide it away. Like,
Okay.
I'm missing the word right now. It's like
Yeah.
trying to lead an alligator away with a stake.
Yeah, you're trying to bait it, basically.
Yes, bait.
As you put energy towards it, what you find very quickly, Dafer, is while the idea is sound, the hunger of this thing is beyond the shell that you're using. Any energy you direct towards it is drank up so quick that you can't begin to leave a bread trail for it. The energy's just gone.
So if I wanted to have this thing away, try to pull this thing away from the guy, I would need to pay in power, essentially. In HP.
In this moment on a 19 Dafer, you think you would need to put your health bar and then some to even begin to lure it away. It is drinking with such voracity that it could very well kill you if you were to try and give it enough.
Jesus Christ. Okay. And I am getting the impression that this guy is like, how's the pulse of this guy looking? Is it getting weaker?
You're surprised that it still seems to be steady. Dafer, you know that shells can shorten the lifespan of an individual. You think whatever this creature is doing right now, it isn't directly drawing from, because the way the energy is drawn by these things, it doesn't exactly obey the normal laws of like how things work within existence. Mm-hmm. It's drawing energy from the end of this person's life, and very rapidly, to the point where people who wear shells, they live for like 50 to 60 years maybe. This thing that they're wearing, it's taking years off their life every week. It's fast.
Okay. Axel?
Looks up and around from where he was doing something. Yes, Dafer.
Do we know of, like, we didn't have this, any of this so far. Are there vitality leeching creatures or the like?
He will come over and take a knee next to it and take a look at it. Spends a moment thinking and says, I know during the Fourth House rebellions, there was some testing of experimental shells to be given to civilian fighters on the front lines that were soldiers for the Trismere houses. I never saw them myself, but I know that they were banned for how quickly they drained life from individuals. Either this could be one of them, or this could be some offshoot of the research continued by someone somewhere. But that's just a guess. I've never seen this myself. Axel.
How much longer we have on?
Axel will go over to the warehouse office and yell up to Atira and Clara, is there anything you need help with up there?
The same thing you're talking about down there. I think we're running out of time.
You want to drop her off to me? I'll catch.
I don't know whether it's safe to move them with these things.
And here was already picking up the girl in the back.
Axel says, I understand the concern, but can't well stay up there anyway.
Yeah, Ed here is gonna try and, I guess with Clara to help, like, balancing two sides, we drop her.
Axel does catch her. Doesn't seem like the first time he's ever caught a limp body from a 2-story drop. There's some technique behind the catch. And then does carry it over to the other as well. Kind of sits on his haunches looking at everyone here and says, It looks like a clear divide to me. Some of these are kids from the stacks. The others seem more involved. He gestures at the Plague Dr. Mask guy and the Pistolier guy as well. Says those seem to be the ones that were more in charge. I bet for some of these kids this is their first night here.
And maybe we take the kids back to the matron and collar the rest.
I think that's a good shout. We can take the kids back to the church. They'll look after them there. In terms of the others, I can put them in cuffs, but Rudolph will be here before long, and I don't have jurisdiction to take anything away from him. It's up to him to question them if we don't do it here and now.
I don't know how much you're gonna get out of those two with leeches still sucking their life away.
Unfortunately, I don't know how to remove them. We can try, but...
If we had a healing spell, would we be able to mend damage after taking one off?
We could, but it's a risk. Look, Rudolph isn't one to... He'll share exactly as much information as he needs to keep us doing what he wants us to. If he finds out there's some danger to the city, he'll leverage that to keep us doing things like this. If we want to know more than the bare minimum to keep us on a hook, we need to make a choice, I think. We can try and wake up one of these more senior members and question them here and now, or we can take what we can from the building and leave it, but we're sort of at a crossroads here. Our options are limited.
David, do you have salt?
I didn't bother removing it from my backpack, so yes.
Carries the full spice rack everywhere.
I think I might be able to get these things out.
Sure. I essentially just hand you an entire package of salt, unopened, because I didn't get to make bread yet.
I won't need all of it. You can have it back after. Adhere, do you have tweezers in your thieves' tools?
I hold my hand out to Uther.
Axel lights another cigarette.
Please?
Lights another cigarette and looks in another direction. And it's like, what interesting artwork they have in the warehouse as you pass over your illegal goods.
I hand a tweezers or a tool fitting the description to Clara.
Great. The bad news is that this place is entirely unsanitary, and so... I don't know. Are we all okay with taking this risk?
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Trust you.
Okay. She's gonna vault down from the catwalk.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the one in the plague mask seemed the most lucid, so I think he's probably the best chance.
He didn't have the parasite, did he?
Uther, as you pull the clothing away in that area, you're right. He doesn't have one. He was just very skilled at a fight. He was a good combatant.
Well, that would explain why he was the most lucid. It's definitely not the girl, so who's the next one?
The only one I saw was the one with the knives.
Sure, it'll do.
You also saw the dude with the mace that you knocked out very quickly. He had a leech.
Yeah, Dafer is correct. There is that one.
I'll go for Knife Boy. Knife Boy was also pretty lucid.
Okay. What do you want to do? Wake him up, or?
attempt to take his weird parasite thing.
Oh, he doesn't actually have one. Yeah,
Oh, he doesn't have one.
He doesn't have
Okay,
one.
I'll cut the one out of Mace Boy then.
Okay. Do you want anyone in particular to help you, or what do you want to do?
Well, I'm gonna need everyone to hold his limbs down in case he happens to wake up as soon as I start cutting his skin away.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I guess, like... Adhira probably has the steadiest hands.
Okay.
So I might need her help, because it's kind of a... To do this properly, I think it's got to be, like, at least a two-person job.
I would agree. Clara, medicine check at advantage, please.
Okay. Wish me luck.
11. To your benefit, as you apply salt to the area, the part of the shell that has been merged with some sort of creature does seem to react, fizzle, dry up. It doesn't like it.
Oh, wait, hold on. I have my bond still active.
12.
It's a 12!
Okay.
I had to try.
You manage to pull it free and manage to, like, incise away the areas that do not disconnect. You don't hit anything vital. Nothing about this is going to kill the individual, although it's probably going to leave quite a scar along the collarbone. What startles you, Clara, is as you have this thing in your hand and you've pulled it away, it begins to sort of crumple inwards, and while most shells have been treated so that they do not flake and turn into the metallic miasma, this begins to disintegrate into the little shards of miasma. At which point Axel steps forward with this crystal and applies heat to it in order to sort of forge it together into a lump, which he then takes a special bag out of one of his pockets and wraps it around it in order to keep it safe. Says, interesting. Not good, but interesting. Good job removing it. Takes a look at the guy, says, he seems stable.
It's gonna scar. Although, if I'm 100% honest, it might have been a neater scar, but he was gonna have one anyway if someone tried to pull this out.
Yeah. I think one way or another you've probably saved him a lot of trouble down the line. Good job.
Yeah, now someone want to slap Knife Boy awake? Because I think we need a couple of answers.
We're running out of time as well. Rudolph will be here before long.
I'd also
I
like
don't
to point out.
mind.
I'd also like to point something out.
Yes, Calaban.
The guy at the walkways up top.
Mm-hmm.
I think I recognized him.
You certainly shouted like you recognized him.
I think that was the major domo for the Fjordis family.
Well, that's complex, or complicates things.
That's
But
supposed
it's-
to mean something.
Adhere mutters that name over a while and then produces the little pocket square with the initials LF on it. Does this girl belong to them?
LF.
Caliban, give me a history check with advantage.
Alrighty. Hopefully it's a good roll. I'll take that.
The Fortis family does have a daughter by the name of Liliana, who reportedly is dead. Perished in an unfortunate accident while abroad, something to do with a storm and a ship.
Wow.
Liliana Fjordis, but she's supposed to be dead.
I pull out this identity card and hand it to Axel.
He says,
I do.
this was on the girl as along with the handkerchief.
Yes.
Interesting. Takes it from you. Says, we don't need to leave everything here for Rudolph. In fact, Caliban,
Yeah.
why don't you grab a few of those guns? Who knows how many they've handed out.
How many are we taking?
Enough that you can comfortably fit it under your jacket without looking like you've gotten some sort of weird illness.
Okay. How many? Okay, I'm gonna. What check can I make to see?
I think sleight of hand or stealth is probably the best roll.
I'll go with sleight of hand.
Go for it. You managed to get a rifle, and I'm going to say 4 pistols.
Oh,
That's impressive posture, Caliban. I won't ask where the rifle is.
no, it's not there. He already has something stuck up there.
Caliban is staggered. Clara, who would you like to give your teamwork point to?
I'm gonna give it to Caliban. This one is meant in jest for once.
I think I replaced it with my spine.
Axel's going to use a crystal to give a quick jolt of life to the Plague Doctor Mask individual and says, we've got time for a few questions, so let's ask quick. As he wakes up, Axel just rips the mask from his face, revealing the sort of drowsy, sort of beat up individual underneath. Says, well, I guess, is there any question anyone in particular wants to address towards him? Is there anything that you super want to ask here? Axel will ask his first question, which is, why have you begun operating here, of all places? Why this district? Why now? And I will roll an intimidation check, as he is going to essentially insinuate pain.
Could I... Nah, do I look threatening enough to support this?
I don't think you need to look it so much as, like, if you crunch your heavy gauntlets together, I think that would probably get the point across.
Yeah, and I think I'm pretty pissed at this guy for what he did to Clara and Caliban, so the facial expression will match.
He is appreciative of this advantage because he is secretly, deep down, a big old puppy dog and does not have high intimidation. 17. Smug smile from this guy says, easy marks. Most of the people here are desperate. Desperate enough to give away their lives real cheap. Anyone else have a question?
Yeah, does he have like a bag of stuff?
He was already checked over. He's got a lot of knives. That's really it.
Damn. I was gonna like try and go through his wallet in front of him.
No, he's
for, like, extra value.
Adhira, you get the feeling not this guy's first rodeo. He's not carrying anything that might identify him whatsoever.
I've got a question for him.
Yeah, go for it.
What's with the weird shell parasite things?
Give me a persuasion check with advantage again.
Sure.
Nice.
I needed the advantage.
The duality. He'll say, people here are desperate, but, well, they're lacking a little. These things give them a little boost. Make sure they're actually useful.
At the cost of most of their life force, you have no shame.
He shrugs and says, they're stupid enough to put them on. Maybe they should be ashamed for not asking the right questions.
For your own sake, I hope you never end up that desperate.
Adhere is going to step forward and sort of crouch down. May have no shame, but you certainly have ambition. What is this all going towards? What's the end goal?
Yeah, you're trying to play to
Yep.
their ego, so give me a deception check and with advantage.
Ooh.
12. Says, sorry, little girl, but at the end of the day, I'm just a little fry, all things told. Caught the wrong fish.
But you must know the names of the people that you are working with.
And
But
I
man,
am
the
smart
honor.
enough to keep my mouth shut.
I'm trying to think of something I could do to use persuasion.
Axel will pull you to one side at here and say, we can get him out of here. We can offer him freedom in exchange for information. If we get him out before Rudolph gets here, you can maybe try and sell him that.
Good idea. Thank you.
Nods and steps back and lets you step forward, like a teacher observing a student in an exam.
Oh, he's so good. You have a wonderful little opportunity ahead of you. In a few minutes' time, a inspector will be here. Detective, really. Gonna round up all of these little people. But you give us the right information, we can get you out the back door. You can be on your way.
He's gonna make an insight check to see whether he thinks you're lying or not.
Not technically lying.
He believes you. Says, ask your question again. I'll pay attention this time.
What are you working towards? It's not simple crime or moving drops. This is a bit more involved. These are old guns.
I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that the people in charge, they're looking for an army. They're arming anyone they can, putting powers in the hands of people that are desperate, that'll do anything. I don't know what the end goal is, but I know whatever it is, it's gonna need a lot of force.
She nods, pleased. Was there anyone else besides the old man? Anyone who had come by to talk?
He just says, the girl. Everyone called her Crescent. She seemed to bring news with her every time she visited, but it was all notes, and then old man burned them afterwards, so no luck there, I'm afraid. Now,
The eye patch?
the eye patch. Crescent. I'm not sure it was her name, but it's what they called her.
Where would they have run off to?
Probably back to the home district, but yeah. I can't speak to that. That's something that is he inclines his head at your teacher. Axel sighs, stands up, and then the guy says, I answered your questions now. Quick, get us out of here, and wherever we land, I'll answer a few more, but we need to leave now. Axel walks over and says, the girl wasn't lying, but I lied to her. And he knees him in the face, knocks him unconscious, and then says, we should get out of here.
Were we planning to take the children back to the matron?
Axel nods and starts like picking up a few of the teens from this district and put them over the shoulder and says, if you can carry one, carry one. If not, then leave it to those who can.
Who are we leaving behind?
Mostly the people...
Like, where's our cutoff for children? Are we taking the presumed Fjordist girl, or are we leaving her here?
That's a good question, actually. So Axel was going to take the people that looked like they just arrived here, not the ones who had the parasites attached to them, as it were. If you want to take those two, they might need to go back to the academy as opposed to, because the medical equipment there is better.
I think Clara at least would edge towards taking specifically just her, because she didn't seem in control at all. And I've now proven that these parasites can be removed, so...
Adhira would voice a similar sort of support for that, especially since this sort of is touching upon a conspiracy that this girl was reported to be possibly dead.
Okay.
There would be people who might recognize her in a hospital and take her back. If we move her to the matron, we basically have a hiding spot for her, and we can come back later and ask her questions.
All right. In which case,
So
Axel...
if we get her at the academy, then we have full control of the situation.
Yeah,
nevertheless.
Axel will nod and say, I'll explain the situation to the headmistress. She's not exactly a fan of Rudolph's either, so she'll back us as much as she can. He'll pick up her and another, and then the rest of them could be split amongst like Dafer and so on pretty easily. It's fine. You guys, Axel leads you out the side alley and away from the situation. And yeah, you take the kids back to the matron, dropping them off at the church. You don't ever actually see the matron, but the guy who is the sort of like guard there takes them off you. Axel explains the situation. The guy he's talking to, if you're there in the situation when the conversation's happening between Axel and him, they don't seem to have met before, but there is a degree of recognition by reputation between the two of them that you see. Almost like two people who have maybe wanted to meet each other meeting for the first time. They don't like spend a lot of time exchanging pleasantry, but there is like an air of respect between the two of them. He then leaves with you guys back to the academy, carrying the girl, takes him into the medical wing. If you want to, you can come with him to the medical wing. Otherwise, you can head back to the dorms. It's up to you.
Could I have had a quick chat with the guy before we left?
Yeah, of course you can, Dave.
In that case, I would have asked him if he or they, like gesturing at the community at large, mind if I come back at a later date, maybe with some food or something.
He says to you, you have done us a lot of good tonight. If you wish to come back with gift or otherwise, it's good. You are a friend of us as far as I'm concerned.
I respect what you guys do here. I'll be happy to see you again. Have a good time.
Have a good night. Rest well. You look shit.
Not as bad as my colleagues. Friends, more like.
Good. Friends is good.
Daver smiles at that.
Yeah. Heading back to the academy, anyone that follows Axel to the medical wing with the girl, the nursing staff there seem to understand much better what this thing is. They refer to it as a quick fire, or some of them refer to it as booster. They use some drugs that go through the girl's system, and it seems to poison the creature or whatever this thing is. It unadheres, but it does leave like where the shells, almost like the ribs in the form of claws had gone in, there's pinpricks all along the collarbone there, and like a dark necrosis around it. For whatever this thing was, it seems to have been on her a lot longer and got a lot deeper into her than the other guy that Clara removed it from. But they take her in, and you are, I guess Axel is quite relieved to realize that they seem to know what this thing is and how to handle it. So she seems to be in good hands.
So what kind of report do we have to do on this? Or can we pretend this didn't happen?
I think this was off the record.
I'll go and talk to the headmistress. I might have to write something down, but it won't be exactly what happened, shall we say. If anyone asks what happened, just say you were assisting with an investigation with the peacekeepers. Leave Rudolph's name out of it. He prefers it that way, and if we can stay at least as much in his good graces as possible, it will make our lives easier going forward. Be as cordial with him as you can manage. I know he's got a face that you want to punch.
Understandable. Now, if you don't mind, I have a party member that was poisoned at least twice. I was poisoned once, and I'm pretty sure the others look like huge amounts of shit. So we are all seeing the nurse today.
Axel says, leave the nurses to the girl. You can take a good night's rest tonight. In the morning, you can bother them. But you've got the day off, Dafer. Just actually relax. I've taken enough of your weekend as possible, so try not to think too much about what's been going on and actually have some fun. Be a student for a bit. It's probably about 9-ish. Like, it wasn't super late when you guys did the raid, and obviously your fights are quick, and the investigation probably took longer than the actual combat. So yeah, I think it's like 9 getting towards like 9:30, something like that by the time you get back.
I suddenly feel very exhausted.
That's why you should.
Suddenly.
Almost like we got into a fight.
Fight is putting that mildly.
Axel will give you one last chance to ask him a question before he heads off to the headmistress's office, looks at you all. Anything you want to say?
So are you going to use mouthwash after biting that thing?
If you used mouthwash. Okay, what a question.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to get.
You mean nothing by the question, but no, it is a sensitive subject for me, Atira, so...
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. I'm just letting you know. Okay.
I have a question.
Do we get a grade? Like, how did we do?
I mean, obviously I'll have to grade you as a collective. I wouldn't want to single anyone out, but B- overall. Not bad for a first week.
And what are our points for improvement?
I would say, first of all, don't let your target get away. And second of all, and this is a lesson we could all learn together, scout your environment for hazardous materials during a fight.
Clara writes these down in her journal.
Anyone else?
I have one.
Yes, David.
The way this looks, someone is planning an insurrection. Is this news to you?
Yes, it's news to me. I wouldn't say I'm terribly surprised. You'd be shocked to know what goes on behind the scenes in, well, pretty much everywhere in this world, Dafer, but this is the first I'm hearing of such a thing. It would be the first Rudolph is hearing of such a thing, but I would imagine Rudolph had more of a suspicion than I did. Overall, try not to worry yourself over it. You've got plenty to consider. Let myself, the headmistress, and Rudolph handle this as much as he'll let us. I might need to call on you again, but just focus on your studies. Oh, I almost forgot. Your field study at the end of the month. You'll be heading to the Gold Bell Caves. You'll be helping a Empress Knight by the name of Sky. She's doing a check there. There's some sort of material that's harvested from the caves, but the last team that went in to harvest didn't come back. She's heading there to investigate, and she has kindly said that she will take you with her as part of your field studies since, well, we didn't have anything particularly planned, so there you go. That's your end of month task.
Cave.
Okay.
Feel free to use your study periods to look into the cave. If you want to ask me questions about it, I'll tell you what I know, but not now. I really need to get off. And then he'll kind of turn on a heel and jog down a corridor and up a flight of stairs towards the second floor where the headmistress's office is.
Clara's going to turn to Adhira. Now, on the topic of mouthwash, did you get more vampire or werewolf vibe?
I got the werewolf. It's
I was thinking the same.
Guys, this is a sensitive subject for me. Leaves. Alright, so one for werewolf, one for vampire.
Listen, I acknowledge it was sensitive, and so I didn't say it in front of him.
I wonder if there's a more personal reason for why he dropped that fighting style.
I can't imagine going around biting people is looked on very favourably, even if it is effective.
Well, he did it well enough to be known as the Beast. Oh no.
He also had that, shadow trick, so, that might have something to do with it.
Cool.
Maybe he's a demon.
The ancient demon versus devil discussion.
Now, DM.
I forget.
Would-
One's lawful, one's chaotic. I forget which one's which.
Every time.
Would
Demons
my
are chaotic, devils
Yeah.
are lawful.
Okay, yeah, then I stick with demon.
would my friend have been able to sniff that out if Axel was a demon, being in such close proximity? Would I have been known that by now?
I more meant like demon themed, not like actual like. No, sorry, go on.
I would say in the moment you're all talking about it, there's no voice, no whisper up your spine into your mind that confirms or argues against it. Just nothing. So you get the feeling if it could show off and say actually it's 100% a demon, your friend would say so in this moment to you, but no such confirmation comes.
The mystery continues.
The mystery continues.
Is there somewhere that's open late enough on campus that that I would at least be able to go to just to sort of sit down and breathe?
The cafeteria is open late, and any leftovers are left out on trays for people to come and eat late at night if they haven't been able to grab food or whatever, so that is here. Alternatively, obviously the workshops are open 24/7, or you can go chill out somewhere outside, I guess, but there isn't a communal area other than the dorms that's open this late.
Well, I am a growing girl, and I have a shell attached to me, so I'm gonna go grab something to eat. If someone would like to join me, feel free.
That sounds grand. Because I assume right about now, I ate 3 red bean buns, but I assume that was not enough.
Yeah, pretty
So-
much. You can go sit in the cafeteria and eat some leftovers with it here.
Absolutely. Chatting a bit about what we saw. Him double checking that she's alright, given that she had to. She also got hurt decently during the fight and so on.
I got punched in the face once and it took me down like half health.
It was
Yeah, that's
an arm-breaking punch, however, like full force.
Mm. Be happy that didn't break your nose.
No, I need to keep my face perfect.
I mean, you could still write that one. It would just be very painful. Yeah.
I think, however, with that night petering out, unless there's anything anyone wants to get in before they head to bed that night, we'll probably close the session off at this point, where we've been going for about 3 and a bit hours. So.
Where
I got 5
where am I
AP.
hiding the guns?
I need to pass out.
Oh,
Where am I hiding the
where am I
guns?
hiding the guns is a great question, by the way.
Under your bed.
I think Axel would ask you to put it in the workshop of your dormitory. He knows there's some lockers in there where you can put weapons and other things away. There should be personalized ones, so if you can put them in one of your lockers so the other students don't go in there, that would be great. And he'll pick them up after talking to the headmistress tonight. He'll pick it up on Sunday in order to take it to wherever she wants it.
What does the rifle look like?
Like, it's like it's kind of like an M1 Garand, but it's designed to be. Yeah, it is really quite like it's like a single shot slide rifle, one shot reload with the ping, basically.
I wonder how much can I saw it down?
Oh my
I can
god.
hold it in one hand.
You could saw it down. I don't know what that would do for it as evidence, however. It would make it obviously a different kind of weapon, shall we say, but you might want to get permission before you start modifying the evidence for close quarters combat.
The ATF would like to know your location.
But yeah.
I'll wait until after everything
Yeah.
is sorted out before I start doing anything.
Cool. Anyone else? Obviously, where do I hide the weapons? A great question. Anyone before I close things off? No.
I'll just
Yeah, I'm
I'll
good.
just stuff things in the locker.
In which
Yeah.
case, we'll leave it there. Next session, we'll probably do the one-shot thing, since I don't think we've got Wold, but if we do have Wold, then we'll do Sunday and you know, the fight, the 5th day of school, and go from there. But yeah, otherwise, send me some ideas for characters. I'll give you some character sheets, and we'll be doing I think what I've decided on for the one shot, or however many shot we get to do this across, is the investigation of ruins in the Zemesian Waste. So it's a bunch of Empress Knights that have been called together, and you're going to investigate a old structure of old Zemes that has had some unusual miasmic monster activity around it, and that's the mission briefing that we'll go for. Okay.
You internet cut out for like a minute.
Ooh.
When it you said so it ended after it cut off at Zemesian Waste.
Yeah, so some ruins in the Zemesian Waste, some weird miasmic monster activity there, and these Empress Knights have been called together to investigate it, basically, and that's the premise for the one shot that we'll do next week.
Is this happening adjacent to?
It is happening concurrently, time-wise, so during the same Saturday as right now, that's when the one-shot will be ran for what's going on with these wastes and these characters.
Alrighty.
Right? Cool.
What sort of things should we expect to have in like a level 13 Empress Knight build?
So you've
Because
got...
like we're kids,
Yeah.
so we've got like generic non-mage classes and some crystals. Like what sort of things should we be aiming for?
So you guys can obviously have the full suite of like how many keywords you should have for the proficiency modifier. You would have access to up to 5th level crystals. So you'd be able to have like 5th level spells equipped in attunables. And if there's anything special or otherwise that you think of that you'd want to do for these characters as well, you can obviously send me a message for them. But like, if you want to have, for example, features from another class equipped, you can have that as well. So if you want the animal companion from Ranger, or if you would like any of the Eldritch Invocations as well. Basically, any feature from any class, as long as it's below 13th level, and you want to sort of include it, just send me a message and we'll figure out whether that's an attunable or whatever. But yeah, that's probably it, I would say.
Cool.
Right.
I want to know what everybody's classes are going to be like before we come to decision. I want to know.
I mean,
I want to know what niche we can fill in.
obviously you guys can chat about that in the Discord as much as you want, and then if you want to ask me questions about that too, go ahead. But I'll end the stream here at least, and then we can keep talking about it if you want. But I'll cut us here.
Okay.
Will Capri